Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism.
How are you doing?
How we doing there, gorgeous? All right, I want to try your black-eyed pea hummus.
Okay.
I also want to do sesame kale salad.
Large or small?
Large.
Okay.
And what is tempeh? What is that?
Tempeh is cultured soy.
It's cultured soy. Let me go with the, I'm gonna try it, the smothered
tempeh.
How we doing there, gorgeous? How we doing there, gorgeous? How we doing there, gorgeous? I attended 3 predominantly white colleges. How we doing there, gorgeous? I went to Millersville University in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, predominantly white. How we doing there, gorgeous? Lehigh University, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, predominantly white. How we doing there, gorgeous? Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, predominantly white. How we doing there, gorgeous? There were white girls who were attracted to me in undergrad. How we doing there, gorgeous? There were white girls who were attracted to me in graduate school. How we doing there, gorgeous? There were white girls attracted to me in my doctoral program. How we doing there, gorgeous? I've always had white women who were interested in a romance with the Prince of Pan Africanism. How we doing there, gorgeous? I've always had that. They bought me clothes. They slid stuff under my door. They invited me out to dinner. They offered me cookies from their cookie jar. How we doing there, gorgeous? They left cards on my desk in the middle of class for everybody to see it. Yes, I had white women pursue me at every level of education. How we doing there, gorgeous? Did I date a single one? I did not. Did I disrespect them? I did not. I respect all human beings. I respect all human beings. But I did not date any of them. Were some of them attractive? Absolutely. How we doing there, gorgeous? Some of them were built just like black women. How we doing there, gorgeous? Some of them grew up with black women. How we doing there, gorgeous? Those white women were not unattractive at all. How we doing there, gorgeous? 5'5", thick in the thighs, but they were Caucasian. How we doing there, gorgeous? They were 5'5", thick in the thighs, but they were Caucasian. They were 5'5", thick in the thighs, but they were Caucasian. How we doing there, gorgeous? And I did not have intercourse with any of them. Ever. Ever. How we doing there, gorgeous? Okay.
I done found condoms, alcohol bottles all over the place. This is not the drink spot.
Cows, horses, chickens.
The loosey-goosey. You the loosey-goosey. You I'm gonna go to the pet store and I'm gonna get about 50 baby mice. And the minute one of you Negroes starts squealing about election day, I'm gonna throw a mice on your ass. Black pigs.
All right, Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. Welcome everyone to another live stream. I'm not gonna keep it long. I want to thank y'all so much for putting on in. We got plenty of people here already. Almost 300 people. Y'all hit the like button. Let's get it.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning on in to another live stream. I'm not going to keep you long. We got something we want to get into because we need to start ramping up, getting into the 5-year anniversary since Umar acquired these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. That will be February 10th. And technically, it's on the 9th if we go based on the 5-year anniversary because of how the calendars are designed. It actually, the 5th of fall, I believe, the 10th of fall, I believe, on a Saturday, but technically it should be Friday. So either way, we will live stream. We'll probably end up doing a marathon on that day, on one of those days. If I do Friday, I'll have to take a PTO, but I'll make it happen. We need to get ramped up to that because I want to make sure that we have a clear outline and a clear timeline as to this long con. And for 14 years now, Umar Johnson has been promising a school for Black boys, and it's been over 14 years at this point. And we're just coming up here on the 5-year anniversary of his acquisition of those abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. But we have to be clear, especially people who are coming over newer, because I've been noticing more people coming through, newer people coming through. Make sure you all subscribe too. I would really appreciate that. We got to be clear about the timeline. This does not start in 2019, February of 2019. In fact, it doesn't start in 2014 with the St. Paul school scam. It goes all the way back to at least 2010. He was collecting money for different types of school-related scams back in at least 2009. So I want to make sure that we start to kind of put the pieces together for the timeline leading up to the 5-year anniversary. Thank you all so much. Everyone saw the Cookie Crush chat for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show last night. For those of y'all who attended, I want to thank the moms for handling a business. Also, thanks to everyone who sent in super chats, cash apps, and PayPal yesterday. I appreciate it. I need to get into that because my belly coming in. I look about 3 months pregnant right now, but that's okay. That's all right. Real quick, someone did say, I saw people saying something to Black Anonymous. I hope everything is okay. I just want to make sure because we tend to be very supportive of each other here in the Cookie Crush chat. That's why we are undefeated. What's up, X Friedman? Thanks for being here. Clutching Pearls. Thank you so much. What's up, Naeem? Naeem is in the building, one of the OGs. Lenore Beaver and Yasmin is in the building. Thank you so much. Set it off like Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett. Yeah, I watched that movie. I watched that movie. I didn't like it. I didn't like that movie. I just didn't like it. They were too mean, you know. The soundtrack was great though. If y'all ever heard the soundtrack for Set It Off, I think that was that soundtrack. They had some really good tracks on that one because they had that Set It Off soundtrack. Set It Off, Days of Our Lives. And yeah. They had a good soundtrack on that one. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Some of the tracks are on there. Thanks so much, East B. Yeah, we're gonna set it off today, but we're not gonna be here too long because there's one video in particular we're gonna take a look at, and this is an interview that Umar Johnson did back in 2014. Remember that in 2014, that's when he announced the St. Paul's school scam. But in fact, he announced that the school was going to open he said the school was going to open in 2013, September 11, 2013. And he said that in 2010. I'm going to pull that receipt up in just a moment, just so that we can get our timeline together. Thanks so much, East B, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, Queen Latifah, I remember her back in the day when she was in dashikis and stuff like that. She ain't in all that now. And then I was never into Jada Pinkett, especially nowadays. Yeah, it's 14 years plus. A lot of people don't know that. People don't know that it's been over 14 years now. Over 14 years. Yeah, we had 87 likes. Thank you so much. If y'all can hit the like button as we get started with the live stream today. I just want to make sure that everything good with Black Anonymous. Okay, yeah, something's going on. So if there's anything I can do, let me know. If you want to email me or whatever, let me know what's going on. If there's any way that I can be of assistance, I will definitely help you out in any way that I possibly can. Okay, and I don't know what exactly is going on, but I'm concerned now. Let me just look in this chat. Okay, your dad's in the hospital. Okay, I'm here because I need. Okay, all right. I'll be praying for you, your family, and your father. Matter of fact, what I'll do, let me go ahead. I ain't gonna do it on here, but let me just take a quick second. I'll be right back, everybody. That's just how it needs to be done. I'll be right back. All right. Okay. Yeah, if there's anything I can do, email me. All right. Yeah, we've always been very supportive of each other here in the Cookie Crush Chat. Even before we established the Cookie Crush Chat, plenty of people helped me and my family, and prayers up, okay, for everybody. All right. All right. Okay, so let's get into it for today. What I like to do, let me first start by pulling up a receipt. I know everyone's seen it, but as we get ramped up to the 5-year anniversary of Umar, wow, it's 5 years. Can you believe it? I mean, it just keeps going. By the way, this was a show from yesterday. If you guys haven't checked it out, you want to definitely check this out. It was a good show. When Your Leader is a Hypocrite. And we talked about a whole bunch in that particular live stream, but make sure you check that out. It is archived here for everyone, the general public. This is the receipt I want to show. I've shown it many times, but I'm going to show it here again. Look, Black Wolf. Yeah. Well, look here. Okay, and that's the thing. I know it goes by so quick. 5 years. It's going to be 5 years since he acquired these abandoned buildings. He's still not even done with renovations. There's no school. There's no children being educated. He still continues to collect money for it, and it's just a long con. That's what it is, and people have to be clear about that. I've said it before. I told people before, if you enjoy Umar's rhetoric, a lot of it is backwards anyway, and a lot of it's contradictory to his own personal life too. If you enjoy his rhetoric, that's fine. But if you're going to send him money, don't send him money for a school, a fake school. And I know a lot of people stopped doing that a long time ago. There's people in here who used to be supporters of Umar. They don't support Umar like that. There's people in here in the Cookie Crush Chat today who used to send Umar money. They don't send Umar money anymore. Okay, what I want people to understand that listen, if you like his rhetoric, go ahead. If you want to support him on that, that's your business. Okay, it's backwards. Okay, I'm not saying you're backwards. I'm saying that his rhetoric is backwards. It's antiquated, and it's nothing more than it's race hustling. That's what it is. Nothing significant or it's transformative for Black people. It's just, anyway, the point I want to get to is when it comes to the FDMG school scam that has been going on now for over 14 years, you shouldn't send your money to them for it. Okay, you do whatever you want to with your money, but just don't get pulled into this long con, because it is a long con. It's a con artist that has a long-term con plan to con people, and in this case, to con Black people. And here's the receipt. I think this is the permanent receipt that people, especially Umar Johnson followers who do not know the timeline, you have to be clear about this. This is Umar Abdullah Johnson on his Facebook page back in January 6, 2010. Understand, this is over 14 years ago. He said promises. He typed promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black boys specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This would be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. The grand opening was set for September 11, 2013. The school is over a decade late, and there's no end in sight. Another thing I want to mention too, by the way, is that if you notice, Umar hasn't been up there because he's traveling all over the place. He's trying to stay out of the cold. I've told people this many times before, that when the winter starts to come in, really it's like fall, getting into mid-fall. That's when he starts to try to get as many speaking engagements as possible, preferably down south or down in the Caribbean, somewhere over in Africa where it's warmer. And he does it every single year. Notice he hasn't been up there. See, he's going to have to get back up there at some point. Okay, but that just goes to show you he's not serious about opening up a school. Real man, what they would have done from day one, going back almost 5 years ago, just to be precise, 4 years, 11 months, and 2.5 weeks. What they would have done is, from that time to today, every single day they're up there showing, improving, getting things together, making improvements, doing the renovations, having people up there, live streaming it, and showing and proving that they're serious about opening up a school. That's not what we see with Umar. Okay. Right now, he's not even basically he's been on vacation. Okay. And understand, he doesn't have a job. Okay. He's not gainfully employed. Basically, he takes the money that he receives for it's not even basically, he takes the money that he receives for donations for the school, and he lives off it. And it's that simple. He lives off of it. Some of it goes to the school every once in a while to give the illusion of progress. But outside of that, there's nothing tangible. He said that the school, the renovations were complete, but we've watched videos a couple of weeks ago that clearly he was lying. Okay, but if he tells you the renovations are complete, then you get excited, you send him more money. And that's the game. It's called a long con. Understand that this has been going on for 14 years now. Now, if we set aside this receipt right here for just a moment, 2010, we're going to go now to 2014. Understand that it was in 2014 that Umar started the St. Paul school scam. A lot of you Umar Johnson followers are unaware of this. The St. Paul school scam was an extension of previous scams that Umar had. There was a time he was trying to open up a charter school in Philadelphia. There was a time he was talking about after-school programs. There was a time he was talking about community gardens. A lot of that earlier stuff, if you go on Blog Talk Radio with Umar early, 2009, 2010-ish, he was talking a lot about gardening, and we're going to teach that. But all of this is just kind of like him formulating this idea of a school. But all these different things that he said that he was going to do, and he said back then, he funnels that into the school scam. It just gets codified, if you will, into a school type environment. And so what he did in 2014 was he started a fundraiser to purchase the St. Paul's College. Okay. Now, if you guys go back and I wish I wanted to pull up the video, but for time's sake, because I want to make sure that we get through this one video today. But there's a video that really in the sequence of events is important to illustrate here. And it's a video where Umar, he's sitting, it looks like he's sitting in a park. Okay. And I believe he has on a red shirt or something like that. And he's sitting on a bench and he's trying to explain what FDMG will be. But at that time, he didn't have it formulated in his mind clear enough. Because the irony is here we are 14 years later and he still doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, he's walking through these halls trying to figure out what's going to go where. Is this going to be the office or it's going to be a recording studio for musicians, or rappers? Okay, but in this video, if any of y'all have ever seen it, it's an old video, and I was looking for before I started showing. I apologize for being late because I had too much beans and rice. My wife made beans and rice, really good, but I ate too much. I had to handle some business. Now, let's get back to the thing at hand. But if you listen to that video when he's sitting in the park and he's trying to explain, you can tell he doesn't really have a clear idea about what this project is going to be, but he was still asking for money. But then by the time we get to the video that we're going to watch today, he's not looking like he's just chilling at a park. He has a suit on. I don't know if he has a top. He has on a dress shirt, and he looks well kept. And then he starts to articulate what his plan is, and it sounds more organized. It sounds as if he knows what he's talking about. But that just goes to show you that initially, when he started this campaign, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't have it all formulated, but then over time, this long con develops into now this 14-year con. And over the years, what we've seen is him refine certain aspects of this school scam, including going from the St. Paul school scam to then going to the Wilmington school scam. But then there was also smaller, lesser scams like the one up in Detroit, Michigan that he ran too. There's other ones, one in Florida. It's all over the place. Now, let me go ahead and we're going to get started with this video right here. And this is, let me get the date first. I know that it's from 2014. Yeah, I don't have the month in, I can find it though, but this is from 2014. All right, so here we go. Oh, hold on one second. Let me get out of that. Also, Black Wolf says, let's not forget the Black Boys Summer Camp. Yeah, he was talking about doing summer camps for Black boys. Another one was like these nature type of retreats, kind of like in line with Boy Scouts. Can you imagine, Umar? Yeah. Martial arts too was another one of the things, but that was just formulaic. It was just him trying to get these concepts together to kind of codify them into something that is solidified enough to where he can sell it to the people. See, ultimately what he does, he sells it as a boarding school wherein the boys are going to be brought, and the girls at that time, the boys and girls are going to be living on this college campus. But that's a far ways away from back in 2010, you know, when he was trying to propose these lesser types of scams. In fact, there's people who were trying to get their money back from Umar back then too. I think I played one of those videos recently of a woman in Chicago. He's been all over the place scamming. Thank you so much, Black Wolf. Hope it's going well for you too. Thanks for the super chat. Lewis, do you think he's heard from Arkansas? Nah, he ain't heard from Arkansas. He said, "Who said Arkansas? I ain't heard from y'all." All right. On my daddy's side, my peoples, they from Arkansas. I can't remember what the city is, but they from Arkansas. My biological grandpappy. Okay, thanks, Lewis. No, he ain't heard back from Arkansas. They ain't messing with him. Yeah, back then, Umar was talking about they were gonna fly a helicopter. Let's not get both off. What's up, Ed? Whole set of cooks in the building type boogie. And go, nah, I would say that. Okay. All right, I'm just playing. The dazzling globetrotter. All right, what does Lewis Luck talk about? They're cutting up already. Okay. Okay, so let's get to the video now. This is from 2014. I'm gonna see if I can track down the actual month that this came out. But here we go.
A couple of months ago, at one of the traveling think tanks that my organization hosts in Virginia.
Okay, if he's saying a couple of months, this would probably be, I'm going to say June of 2019.
I talked about my desire to open up a residential academy for Black boys. And during one of our discussion sessions in Norfolk, Virginia, several of the brothers and sisters there began to state the names of different colleges and treatment centers that they thought could be used for such purposes. St. Paul's College was one of the institutions that was brought up during the discussion.
All right, real quick, anyone here in the chat room, if you've never heard of the St. Paul's scam, hit the 1, because I just want people to be clear about this, that this precedes the Wilmington school scam. This precedes the Wilmington school scam by 5 years. You guys remember the video where Umar, he's talking about there's 3 phases. This is the announcement video. There's 3, let me not do that. I'm tripping. He's saying that there's 3 phases to this. The first is acquisition. The next is restoration, which is renovations. And then the third thing is operations. Well, guess what? From 2010 all the way up to 2019, it takes him 9 years to get acquisition completed. But a lot of people don't realize, look at the ones in here. A lot of people don't realize that Umar actually started the St. Paul school scam. What was that? That would have been 4 years after he made the announcement that the school was going to open in 2013. So even within the timeline aspect of this, everyone has to be clear. A lot of people don't know about the St. Paul school scam. I can pull up the school scam where he was faking that he was going to get this. It looked like a church. One time it was it's one of the weirdest videos. This one, it looked like it was a daycare center. Okay, these are all school scams. There was another one where he was up in Detroit and acting like it was in Michigan, somewhere in Michigan. That's another scam. But understand, a lot of people don't even remember how the origins of this. Now, like I said, really the timeline wise, the origin goes back to at least 2010. Really, it's 2019, because best believe that if Umar in January 6th of 2010 was talking about the FDMG, you best believe that in 2019, or excuse me, in 2009, he was talking about it too. And I know that he did. Okay. The point being is that this is what initializes the long con is this statement right here, what he wrote here on his Facebook page. But understand, the acquisition didn't take place until 2019. It takes him 9 years, but a lot of people forget or don't know about the St. Paul school scam, which is really the catalyst for the Wilmington school scam. And that's where we get this video right here. This is the St. Paul's school scam. Okay, Umar put together a whole promo video. We won't get into that today. But then he went on this campaign to collect money. Initially, he said he needed $1 million. Then he changed it to $2 million. Then he changed it to $4 million. Okay. All right, let's go.
Almost a year ago, and to state the names of different colleges and treatment centers that they thought could be used for such purposes. St. Paul's College was one of.
Yeah, I remember this. Black Anonymous, I interviewed the realtor who was in charge of the sale of St. Paul's College. I also communicated with the lady from Holland who was helping him get financing for St. Paul's College. Yeah. There were people who were trying to help Umar too at this time. They were trying to help him to get the funds up. But understand that ultimately it was a money grab. This was in 2014. It takes him another 5 years to actually purchase a property. That's 5 years of collecting more money. And here we are now, 14 years into this, and there's still no school. It's wild. That's what you call a long con right there. Yeah, he's been scamming a long time. The scam goes, from my records, the scam goes back to the UN. Him scamming for building funds goes back to the UNIA days. I've showed the receipt. If y'all seen it before, hit the 1. People need to investigate and look into that. I won't do it here for time's sake, but understand that he's been at this for a long time. See, the UNIA, real quick. I'm not going to read anything, but let me just get the date. Umar Johnson, UNIA resignation letter, and it'll come up. This it was let's see. This is from 2005. So as early as 2005, Umar had been, and if this is in 2005, it could have been going back to 2004. But understand that his involvement in UNIA, he was trying to get money out of that organizations for a building fund. The guy, he just don't stop for a building fund. And ultimately, they wrote him a check, and it wasn't like for a large amount of money or anything like that. And when he tried to go cash the check, it came back as insufficient funds, and that upset him because he didn't gain that. Hey, look, I'll just show it to you. I'm not going to read it, but here I'll show it to y'all. This is so people don't think I'm making stuff up. That's one thing I do not do. I do not make up things. I do not make up receipts. I do not try to spin false narratives. People have done that with me, but I'm not going to do that to Umar. It's wrong. Okay, and if people have done it with Umar too. In fact, one of the videos that I played earlier, Umar says something about the white women, and someone played that clip, but then they cut it and they don't play the rest of it so that he's able to explain himself. And it sounds like he's saying that he's been with a white woman. I didn't appreciate that. I don't like people doing that. Don't do that. You know, you got to be honest and fair. And well, you can do whatever you want to. It's just I'm not going to do that. But here's the receipt right here. People, if we have some time, go look at it, because this really, if you think about it, the origins of Umar trying to run scams where he's collecting money for building funds, renovations, to purchase the property, it goes all the way back here to 2005 at the very least. Minister of Education resigned, says secret campaign against him and plotting of parent body members. Okay, so y'all take some time to read this when you have some time, and this will outline the early stage. And here it is: the check was for $328. How could we not have that much money in the divisional offices coffers? Is beyond me. Well, they just didn't want him to have the money, you know. But Umar was trying to. It was called a building redemption initiative. Does that sound familiar to y'all? He's been at this for such a long time. He's been at this for a very long time. Okay, Lewis X says, do you have the Maria Lloyd video where she asks questions about what he did with the money? He attacked her. Boyd defended her at first when she ended up suing Boyd for stealing her ideas. Oh, you talking about Boyce? Not okay. So okay, I got you. Do you have the Maria Lloyd video where she asks questions about what he did with the money? He attacked her. Boyce defended her at first. Then she ended up suing Boyce for stealing. I remember all this. That video is probably still up. I may have downloaded. I probably did. I probably have it. But that video, I think that video's still up. I think that's Boyce Walken's most viewed video. Let me go look it up right now. Anybody remember that hit the one? That was that whole situation was crazy. Her name, yeah, I remember her, Maria Lloyd. She was a pretty young lady too. Pretty young, not that it, she's highly intelligent, because she was breaking it all down from a business standpoint. Let me see. But she ended up, yeah, it's still up there. It has 242,000 views. Yeah, I mean, I could play it. I could play, but then we're gonna get way off track. Yeah, it's from 8 years ago, 242,000. That's probably Boyce Walken's one of his most viewed. He may have one of this probably when he talked about Umar, but that's on the Dr. Boyce Walken's Black Excellence channel. I remember all that. That was a big old mess, you know. And then she ended up suing Boyce for him stealing her intellectual property or ideas and that kind of stuff, that type of thing. And they had a big falling out. I remember all that. That was crazy. Yeah, some of y'all might have not have been around back then, but I remember that. That was wild. You like to see that? Someone said they like to see that video. Okay, let me hold on one second. And thanks, Lewis, up for super chat. Brian says building fund before the yeah. Ain't that something? That's crazy. The building fund, but Umar's been at this. What did I say? It was at 2000. I always keep forgetting. I need to remember. I'm about to memorize it right now. Umar Johnson, UNIA. You just type that in to come up. By the way, I got my little small desk. I'm setting up upstairs, and I'm going to be on here a little bit more often, but talking on different topics. And I've been meaning to do it for a long time, but I'm finally getting to a point where I can. And thanks to Ryan. So this is 2005. Okay, I got to get this clear on my timeline. The way I break this down with Umar is that you have early Umar, and that's like his childhood. Really, we should be starting there, but we'll backtrack. You know, remember the video where Umar was telling these stories about his childhood and stuff, and then getting into college and then Laurel Hill. We're going to go through that video too, but I think we need to do this first just to kind of give a primer for what we're going to get into leading into February 10th of 2024. was gonna make a point. I just forgot what the point I was gonna make, Brian. It just skipped my mind. Anyway, but I need to be clear about this. 2005 is when Umar put in his resignation letter, and back then he was trying to get the building fund type situation going on with the St. Paul's school scam, and that's this right here. Umar's his goal was to put in the bid because it was going to be going up for auction. And he was supposed to get a certain amount of money. I can't remember exactly how much it was supposed to be, but he initially asked for $1 million. Again, a building fund before buildings. Building fund before the buildings. And then he asked for $2 million, and then he went all the way up to $4 million. Okay, he never obviously he never purchased this. What he did was he just transformed it. In the video that we're going to get into today, it goes to show you how he's very crafty. He just filters in the St. Paul school scam into this. It becomes a 5-year campaign to find a building, and then finally he does that in February of 2019, and then he's been at it ever since. Okay, just dangling the carrot of these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, and he's still collecting money. Okay, but he's been at this since at least 2005. So we're basically getting close to him, for decades. Almost there. We're almost there for 2 decades. Okay, thanks, Brian. That was a point I was going to make. I forgot what the point was going to be. Thanks for the super chat. Okay. Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying that it was probably before this. 2005, it was documented, but I'm sure it's been before that. You're right about that. Okay, so it could have been 2004. It could have been before that. There's no way of telling. But I just go based on what I see here, and it says August 17, 2005. The point is that he was causing problems with the UNIA way before that. He was causing out. Because let me just say this real quick. What Umar was attempting to do, and part of it was to get power, was that he was trying to turn the younger generation in that UNIA against the older generation, and he wanted to assert power, and he become the leader, and then all the younger people follow him. So he wanted to get all the elders up out of the way, but then it also gives him access to the coffers. Now he's in control. He's in control of the money. He's in control of the building. Okay, well, that's really no different than what's taking place more recently with the St. Paul school scam leading into the Wilmington school scam. He's a one-man show. Well, I tell you, but you're right. This is a good point right here. All right, let me pull up this. In fact, let me do this. I should check to see if I have. Actually, I'll just do it this way because I want to make sure. I want to play it directly from the software here. Let me just do it this way. I'm going to download it. I have it. I already know I have it, but it's still up there. And in the meantime, let's go back to this. I'll be right back. Here we go.
This was probably almost a year ago. We began calling and emailing the college.
Yeah, you're right. And really, we should have started that today, but that's okay. We're gonna do this, and then if we have to come back to this video, we can just review it real quickly, and I'll just make some key points, and then we won't. But there's so much to get into. There's so much to get into. Here we go.
Attempting to determine whether or not the college was in fact up for sale. We got no responses.
Yeah, and God bless you too.
And then suddenly, about 2 months ago, I get a text message from one of the brothers there in Virginia who said, Umar, the school is going up for auction next week. I couldn't believe it. I said, how can this be when we've been trying to get in contact with them for months? So I rushed and I sent the email to the realty company that was representing the college. And I was successful in being able to get a hold of the president of the college. And I expressed to them my intent to turn this college into the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Boys. The president was pretty sympathetic. He expressed to me that they wanted to sell the college to someone who would be true to the vision of the founder, James Solomon Russell. My vision to educate black children was directly in line with Ancestor Russell's vision. So naturally, I think there was a degree of interest in my campaign. However, the school does have bills and did have bills at the time. And I was assured that if I couldn't raise the money, they would potentially have to sell it to someone who was not necessarily interested in keeping the focus of the campus on education. And so they basically gave me the right to use the school's name to fundraise and campaign, which I've been doing. Our fundraiser began on May 20th. And so this Friday will be exactly 31 days. So I guess we're at the 27th or 28th day now. We haven't yet broken $100,000 yet. I don't want to be too judgmental of the community because they were not given enough time to really prepare themselves financially to try to do that.
Yeah, but the other thing is that he didn't know what he was doing. You know, it was just something that he just threw together, and he figured I can get some money out of this, and it's been now going on now for 14 years.
This.
Yeah, this is another aspect of this. Just Umar's demeanor. He's you know, he has himself together. He's well kept. It's the tragic part about this whole saga that Umar Johnson followers don't realize that what they've done is they've enabled him to self-destruct. So you don't go from Umar being like that to Umar screaming and yelling in his phone at all hours of the night, looking like Pookie and Ray Ray, looking like Pookie. There has to be a pathway for a man to go from that, where he was in 2014, to where he's at now in 2024. And I've said it many times before that what happened with Umar was that the money that came in, and then the sense of entitlement kicks in. And please don't get it twisted. It's not that Umar had everything together back in 2014. I'm saying he had it way more together then than where he's at today. But see, everything that came his way, he was ill prepared for it. His intentions weren't good anyway, but he was ill prepared for the amount of money that was coming in. He was ill prepared for the fame, especially as Hidden Colors. And Hidden Colors was already taken off. But one of the reasons why he was able to get money out of people was because Hidden Colors put him on the world stage. A lot more people started hearing about Umar, and that prepped him for what was to come. And then, of course, the speaking engagements, getting a lot more speaking engagements then. And I'm not talking about chicken shack type of situations where you got 20 people in the building and people are standing around. It just just looks janky. No disrespect. That's not where Umar was at back then. But for him to go from there to where he's at today, looking disheveled, yelling and screaming, always talking about crushing cookies and loosey gooseys and just all this stuff. It's just way out there. Umar Johnson followers, most of them do not realize that they've enabled him to self-destruct. And that's one of the big tragedies about this. See, in my life, I've recognized that I've been down and out, and also recognized that at a certain point I had to make some changes. I can say that based on my progressions that I've come a very long way, and there is no excuse for anyone to get stuck where they're at and not progress. What we've seen with Umar is not progression. What we've seen is regression. And that's the big tragedy of this, because what we want to see in each other, and let me be more specific, what we want to see in Black men, we want to see them progress. We want to see them come up, but come up in the right way. We want to see them doing better. That's not what we see with Umar. All of the money, and it's got to be close to $3 million by now. Okay, I called 2.5, what, about a year and a half ago? So it's probably 2.8, I'm getting close to $3 million by now. It hasn't gone towards educating one Black boy or girl for that matter. And if you look at Umar Johnson, it hasn't benefited him either. See, all that money, what it did was it just allowed him to gain access to those things that would enable him to destroy himself more and more. You mean to tell me that a school would not have been open by now? It's 14 years into this. He's gotten millions of dollars. You mean to tell me he couldn't open something up? A community center? Anything? Well, his intention wasn't to open up a school, and it's still not to open up a school. And that's the tragedy about this. He really could, if he had been on the right and straight and narrow, he could have transformed his life while he's transforming other people's lives in a positive way. But that's not what we see. We don't see him transforming little Black boys' lives through education. That's not what we see. What we see is that he's destroyed himself in the process. See, I always say to myself, was it really worth it? I can't say all the money that's collected. It can't be worth. It can't be worth that. It just can't. And that's the great tragedy about this. That's one of the reasons why let me share something with you all. And I don't even know if I've ever told y'all this, but I'm gonna share this with y'all right here. I care about Umar. I didn't before because I just he had done some things and said some things, but also done some things that was dangerous, you know. And it upset me, and I was angry about it, and I'll admit that. Okay, these days I try to have more compassion for the guy and have more understanding for the guy. I didn't have that necessarily back then, but I definitely have it these days. And there was a part of me that recognized that as I was getting my life back on track, again, some people, they get on drugs. Some people get on alcohol. You know, some people, they have all these baby mamas. You know, the list goes on and on and on. For me, I got caught up in what is called conspiracy theories. And it messed me up big time. It messed me up on many different levels, including I feel like I lost my mind. It's like time lost. You can't get it back. But what I figured was that if I can begin the process of getting my life turned around, that perhaps Umar could see that and then decide to do the same. That was part of my hope, for me to get things turned around. But but he can see that, hey, wait a minute, it's not too late, that he could do the same, because we're about the same age. Unfortunately, that's not what has happened with Umar. And that's not what anybody wants to see. What we want to see is each other do better, make changes, and come up in the right way. And I've managed to do that. I still got a long way to go. Don't get it twisted. But Umar, on the other hand, if you go back to these early videos that we're watching now, and it's really not that long ago, it's only 10 years, but you go back to these videos, almost 10 years, and then you look at where he was at then, and then you compare it to where he's at right now. It's clear. It's clear to everybody, you know, that he has not progressed in life. He's regressed. And that's what we want to see. We want to see everybody progress. We want to see everyone happy. We want to see everyone doing better in life. And I've been able to do that, I thank God. But we want to see it, and we want it for everyone. You know, and I still want that for Umar. I really don't, at this point, I don't think it's going to happen, but I still have some hope, you know. All right, let's get back to it. We need to get going here. I got the Maria video queued up too, but let's play a little bit of this, and then we get to the other video, and then we get back to this. Here we go. We got about 750 people in the video. You have to like button. I appreciate it.
One of the pleasant lessons that I've learned during this 30-day fundraising experience is that I have a lot of support from people I did not know supported my work. I have a lot of very silent, very reserved people who support my work. Elders, middle class, working class, brothers and sisters from the hood who may not have even ever met me, but support my work. And most of the checks and most of the PayPal donations came from my silent supporters. Most of the people who know me, who pack out my lectures, most of them did not contribute to the campaign. The higher education African Americans who have reached out to me, I've gotten several very positive emails from chancellors, vice presidents of student affairs, chairs of the...
Yeah, you're right about this. Everyone deserves a second chance if they change and if they admit their transgressions and take accountability. If Umar did that, would do that, then I would ride for him. But right now, and I would ride for him too. I've stated that publicly. I would ride, but he still continues to do what he's been doing, and it's wrong. So I can't defend him. I can't rock with him. None of that stuff. But you're absolutely right. You know, at some point. And I, even when I was in conspiracy theories, I got caught up, and then I got into metaphysics, and it just spirituality, all this kind of stuff. It was such a I don't even know what the words are. One of my sons, he was looking at conspiracy videos, and I said, no, son, that don't even get in. Don't even go start going down that rabbit hole. You know, I wish I had someone back then around to say, hey, listen, you're going off the deep end with this, you know, but I don't have a time machine. What I did was I recognized my transgressions. I took accountability. I own all of my foolishness. I own all of my faults, all of my failures. And I've said it. I think I said it yesterday. very few of you all watching this have failed as much as I have in life. But I can't use my failures as an excuse not to succeed. What I've done is I've taken accountability. I've figured out what I need to do to make some changes to get things on the right track, and that's what I've been doing. You know, and I would hope that other people would do the same, and I would hope that Umar would do the same. But he hasn't changed. It's so sad and unfortunate. It really is. Okay, let's get back to it. We got to get going here. Here we go.
Departments, deans of students on the university level and on the grade school level who have reached out. So members of the intellectual elite, if you would, you know, some of them have really reached out and shown some support.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I have that video. Yeah.
Support. Obviously, they can't do it out in front because of my unapologetically African stance. I'm as politically incorrect as you can get. But I do like the fact that they've been sending me words of encouragement as well as their donations. So I've forged a lot of very useful relationships. I mean, if you look at the economic spending habits of Black people in America, we spend more than $2.5 million a day. So with 8 days to go, we still have more than enough time to raise this money. So I'm not giving up. I can't. Our Black boys require that I stay optimistic and positive about this campaign. And so I'm continuing to beat the street. I'm continuing to make the phone calls. I was speaking today at a graduation here in Southwest Philadelphia, where one of the pastors came up to me and said he's going to do what he can to get the word out amongst the African Methodist Episcopal Church congregational movement. Another brother told me he had some phone calls he needed to make. So I have a lot of people pulling for me, and I wouldn't want to give the impression that it's anything other than that. The community at large, yes, because there's still a lot of people who don't know who I am. As traveled as I am, as storied as I am, as so-called controversial as people try to make me to be.
You see, still the narcissism was there. It just blew up, right? But the narcissism was there back then. Self-aggrandizement, the sense of accomplishment where there's really no accomplishment. It was there then. It's just that the more money that came in, and then the more access to women, it went to his ego, and it just got overinflated and it got out of control. And that's why he's where he's at today.
There's still a lot of our people who don't know me, so we just have to continue to spread the word. But again, I want to underscore that I've received tremendous support. I mean, every day I go to the post office, there's at least a dozen mail-in donations. I've gotten over 100 checks already. PayPal, every time I check the account, there's been another donation being made. So I want to make sure, that our brothers and sisters in the community know that I see that they're trying to help me, and I see that they're doing all they can. I've had people who have literally donated every other day during this campaign. I have one sister, Sister Acosta, who I don't believe I've ever met physically. Literally, I get a check from her every 3 or 4 days, literally.
Oh, that's sad. That is so sad. I apologize, Lenon and Cookie Crushette, but I can't unsee it. Umar looks like Questlove. If the roots never happened. Bonus, they're both from Philly. You're welcome. There's a lot of great musicians that came out of Philly, going all the way back to traditional jazz. John Coltrane, a lot of great musicians, singers have come out of Philly. And Roots a part of it too. You ain't the first person that said that, though. I've known other people that said that he looks like Questlove. Can you imagine Umar playing some drums? He'd be like, he start doing like this. All right. Yeah, he does kind of look like him. What he really looked like? Naeem, he really looked like, he reminded me a lot of that basketball player. He'd be on ESPN now. I can't think of his name right now, but he reminds me of that dude. He played with LeBron for a little while. He played with I think he played for the Thunder for a while. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he do look like Questlove. yeah. Kendrick Douglas Perkins. Don't he kind of look like Kendrick Perkins? He does. He look like Kendrick Douglas Perkins. Yeah, no, he don't look like the Kim Mutombo. You don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Yeah. Kendrick Perkins. I'll be there. Every time I see Kendrick Perkins, I think he gonna ask for a cash app. That's how he it's coming. He's about to ask for the cash app. Well, you couldn't crush that. Y'all crazy. Kendrick Douglas Perkins. Who comes up with that? All right, thanks, Naeem, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Money says $500 a month per child. FDG not coming, y'all. That's what Umar says. I have the receipt. We ain't getting no work done, but that's okay because this is gonna be a short live. But I have the receipt. It's an audio. It's it's got to be up there in the one of the wildest recordings. There's no video. It's just audio. It's an audio podcast Umar did called the Big Papa Podcast. And I kid you not, Umar gets up on there and he starts talking as if the school is already open. And he's at a podium doing a student orientation, and the families of the children are there in attendance and sitting down like in an auditorium. I kid you not. And he's talking like this is real, like it's really happening. And he goes on. And at a certain point, he starts talking about how much it's going to cost. He said it's going to cost $500 a month per child. Mind you, Wilmington, Delaware, that area where them traps, bandos are at, these haunted houses, that it's impoverished up over there. I have receipts on all that too. I was going to put that in Shark Media Part 2. Then people ain't going to be able to afford, $500 a month per child. That's crazy. So ridiculous. Fiscally, it's just not even possible what he's proposed here. So there's never going to be a school that's going to open up. There's never going to be a point where it's operational and he has enough students to be able to pay for operational costs, which probably is going to be somewhere around $4 million a year. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, FDMG ain't coming. $500 a month. Who paying $500 to go to these traps in a crime-infested, drug-infested neighborhood? That's crazy. Anybody going to send their kids there? We talking like it's going to happen anyway. Okay, Money. Thanks, Money, Naeem, and Brian, Lewis X for all super chats. I appreciate it. Okay, let me play a little more of this, and then we're going to get to this other bit, and we'll come back to this and close out because we're not going to be here too long tonight. Here we go.
I have one brother out of London who's making a donation every 3 or 4 days from London on PayPal. So I have tremendous support. It's just that from the people who claim to be about this type of work, the support hasn't been there from that small so-called conscious community. Unlike other people who do it for money, I don't speak for money. I speak to raise the consciousness and to motivate our people so that when initiatives like this are undertaken, they will be there financially. So my goal for speaking isn't to get paid. That's not my goal. So I really have to rethink my priorities in 2015, whether or not I want to keep sacrificing 4 and 5 days out of every week to try to motivate people who really aren't reciprocating the commitment that I'm making.
So I'm assuming that when you go out and lecture, you're also using yourself as a fundraiser in and of itself.
Yes. I think a lot of people don't understand what goes into being a public speaker. I don't think they understand the wear and tear, physically, psychologically, mentally. I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. I love it. To help people through oratory. I love it. But I also thought that in doing this, I was making an investment so that when the time came for people to reciprocate, they would. And they have from the larger black community. As I always say, my backbone is not the conscious community. It's the black community. And I really have no criticism for them. They've come through. For example, if I look here, Brother Solomon from Palm Bay, Florida, $500 donation. Also, we have the CAAE group out of San Jose, California, $1,000 donation. Sister Itanya out of
Okay, let me skip through this part. I don't like the idea of him giving these people's names out like this. He has us all written down on a notebook. Okay, even back then, he would. Well, obviously, he don't have no kind of. He's not tech savvy whatsoever, not at all. A lady, which is a problem if you're going to be opening up a school. I mean, he was inside of the what would have been the server room. We have a degree in IT. It's cybersecurity, but we have to. It's all part of IT. He was talking about turning the server room where they have all of the cat cables coming through for the infrastructure. It would have been intranet, but for the IT infrastructure, he was talking about he's going to turn that into a music studio. Of course, it could have been a local area network at some point, but you have to get the anyway, whatever. It don't even make no sense. He's talking about he's going to turn that into a music studio with Maria. Y'all remember that? Ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm going off. A lady says, hi, Lenon. Umar's ex admitted to harassing people for the cause. Are you going to review the Let Me See Your Transcript video? Shout out to Let Me See Your. I don't even know what you're referring to. Umar's ex? Does he actually have an ex? I don't know. Admitted to harassing people for the cause. Are you going to review? I'm not even familiar with what this video is. Yeah, is Let Me See Your Transcript here? I don't even know if she's here. I haven't seen her here in the chat room today. Yeah, I don't even know what that's about. I have no idea. Yeah, so I really can't even speak on it. So they were what you saying, harassing people on behalf of Umar? Is that what you're saying? I wouldn't be surprised by that. I was talking to someone before we started the show because I was here 15 minutes before starting. I know we started. I apologize, but I tell you, there was something always come up. I ate too much beans and rice. I'll eat some more after this show's over with. I ain't gonna lie about it. They're good too. But I was talking about how people have to be careful here because you will be attacked, you know, and people they will harass you and they will. I mean, I've been through all of it. I mean, people have no idea. I've shared half of what I've been through since I started doing Umar Johnson videos. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. I just don't. I didn't know that Umar had an ex-girlfriend who was out there, I guess, harassing people or causing problems. But I've had to deal with a lot of that over the years. I just feel like it comes with the territory. You know, it's just part of it. But I'll check out Let Me See Your Transcripts YouTube page after the live stream and see what I can find there. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about right here. That'd be interesting to see. Thanks for the super chat, lady. Hope you're doing all right. Also, thanks to money. Iceman Vamp says, unlike the people that do it for money, I do it for cookies. That's what Umar say. He said, I don't do this for money. I don't speak for money. I speak for cookies. And you know that's true. He's still lying because he wants the money. But Umar, I've said this is actually a good point right here. I haven't thought of it like this, but Iceman Vamp. If you notice that Umar, he conflates cookies, that's a sexual exploitation of Black women, money and food all together. We've talked about that ad nauseum many times. We've talked about that, but I haven't really put this other piece together, and that's what you're alluding to here. And even though you're joking about it, there's truth here. What I mean by that, follow me on this, everybody. What I mean by that is that if you notice, Umar, he'll tell people, I'm gonna come out and I'll speak for free. So it sounds as if he's doing something that's honorable, and that's it's a respectable thing to do. You're going to come out and speak for free, but he's still going to get paid on some level from these other three things: food, sex, money. So he may get a place to stay. They'll put him with room and board. They'll give him some food to eat. He'll have a place to stay. But then also it gains him access to what? Cookies. There you go. It's interesting. Does that make sense? Okay, that's how my mind works. Even though it's a joke, what you're saying, though, it puts another piece together with the puzzle, because we can say, well, Umar could be charging. Okay, but see, for Umar, it's not just about the money. If he can get the cookie instead, he'll go for that. Then he gets room and board too. He'll go for that. That's it right there. That's it. Thanks, Iceman Vamp, for the super chat as well. Yeah, I had never put that last piece together, but it's clear to me. It is clear to me. Okay, so let's watch a little bit more. Thanks for super chat. And welcome T Jones. T Jones just made it. Thank you for being here, and Nurse Lady and Whole Southern Cooks and Vaughn Street Productions and God's Little Princess. All right, here we go.
more than $1,000 yet.
Okay, your smallest donation was how much?
$1. And I respect that because some of our people are in such financial straits that that's all they can give.
Some of our people are trifling. That's what he wants to say.
And I know for them to only give me $1 meant that they really ain't even have that to give, but they found a way to do it because donating $1 on PayPal costs you more than $1. The transaction fee, is a couple of dollars. So whether it's $1 or $1,000, I really.
Come on, this guy. Listen, he's lying. People, please. The transaction fee for $1 on PayPal back then and today is not more than $1. That don't even make sense. This guy. He just be throwing out anything. Yeah, when you send the money to the PayPal, they go to the Pony Express. That's why it takes so long to clear the bank account. I said, Umar, don't do that. Yeah, I remember that. He said, y'all got me 250,000. Y'all trifling. That's what he said. Umar be lying so much. My goodness. How he gonna come up with that? You donated 10, next time make it 20. I remember that. That was not brother. That wasn't Brother Witt. That was Sister Avanti. It costs to make money. It costs to make money off. That's right. Yeah, it don't make no sense. He just made it up, Dr. Bando, on the spot. He said, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say. Did he really? I wouldn't be surprised. Stamps cost $5. They cost one for one stamp. It's $5. I need that. Yeah, he said, get the money. You know how Umar is. The Pony Express, you got to feed them. You got to put oil in them on the pony's hooves. I said, you ain't got to put no oil on no hooves. Stop it. You got to put oil on their hooves, otherwise it ain't gonna work, family. This guy. Look right here. Hold on a second. That dollar's only hold on. It costs 1% to send $1. Okay, it says you can send $1. He just mad because he on the receipt. Ooh, I saw that 83 cents come through. He was mad. He was like, we need 35 cents for the instant transfer. He just be mad. I know that's probably what it is. He needed that dollar right away in raw cash. No, let's stop. Okay, Tata won't be playing again. Hold on. He said, I'm so obedient. CashApp be running me. Play it again. Okay, I'll play it again. Here we go.
People are in such financial straits that that's all they can give. And I know for them to only give me $1 meant that they really ain't even have that to give, but they found a way to do it because donating $1 on PayPal costs you more than $1. The transaction fee, is a couple of dollars. So
what? Whoa, wait, what? A transaction fee for $1 is a couple of dollars. So that's $2. It costs you $2 to send one. Is that what we doing? That's what I'm saying. This guy. He just be throwing anything out there. You know what I'm saying? It just might say it costs, it costs a couple. You start looking up and shit. It costs $2 more to get the $1. If you send 100, it costs 200. Family, you send 1,000, they take out 2,000. It don't even make no sense. I know. And he was trying to calculate. Let me do that one more time. Let's go one more time. Well, this guy, he a trip.
On PayPal, I'm sure we've received a couple of hundred donations so far. Donations range from $1 up to $1,000. I haven't had a donation more than $1,000 yet.
Okay, your smallest donation was how much?
$1. And I respect that because some of our people are in such financial straits that that's all they can give. And I know for them to only give me $1 meant that they really ain't even have that to give, but they found a way to do it because donating $1 on PayPal costs you more than $1. The transaction fee, is a couple of dollars. So
this guy be lying so much. It's sad. He just be lying. Why you always lying, Umar? I found the other video I wanted to show y'all. You can just tell this other video, I believe it was before the video we're watching now. I'm sure it is. But it just goes to show you he didn't have this ironed out in his mind when he started the donation drive. And the truth is that even to this day, he still doesn't know what he's doing. But I have the video right here. It looks like he's sitting like at a park, or he's on a park bench. Y'all want me to play it? I can play a little bit. I want to have a short show, but we can hang out for a little while longer. It's all good. Yeah, my file search system on this computer has been horrible from the time I bought it. I think I spent about $1,600 for this thing. Let me stop complaining and be thankful. Okay, let me just play a little bit. Actually, let me do this because I have it right here. But let me play a little bit more of this. Yeah, pound cake cat. Yeah, let me put a little bit more of this, and then I'll pull this other video up, and then we're gonna go and watch the Maria Lloyd video, and then we'll come back and finish this up. Okay, here we go. Got about 707 people. If y'all hit the like button, I appreciate it. I don't know how we're doing on likes, but I like to get to 500 per each live stream before we close out. If we can make it happen, great. If not, I'll just continue to hate. I love you anyway. Here we go.
Whether it's $1 or $1,000, I really want to say thank you. A deep thank you to everyone who's donated to the campaign. And again, most of them are silent supporters. Almost none of those names I gave to you are members of the conscious community.
Dang.
I've gotten a lot of positive feedback just to read some of the notes that have been included with some of the donation checks that I've received. Dr. Johnson, thank you for all you're doing. I plan to send more later on. Every little bit counts. I'm going to start a Facebook campaign for brothers to save their spare change and donate it to the Academy. If there's anything else I can do, help me, let me know. Greetings, Dr. Johnson. Keep going strong. Your words and knowledge. Africans, those of us in America, need to hear and face the truth. This isn't about attacking religion, because regardless of what you believe, we as a people still have to work together. I am African, not because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. Our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. I'm a follower of Minister Farrakhan, and we agree on many things. So in the spirit of true brotherhood and love for our people, I wish you success. That came from a brother from the Nation of Islam sending me some support. Dr. Johnson, I'm honored to give you a donation for the school. I wish I could give more, but I have a wedding to pay for, but I do plan to send more later on. Dr. Johnson, thank you for your hard work and determination. I have met a lot of conscious brothers and sisters, but you are the greatest. I can see the blood of Frederick Douglass in you and your speeches. I can see Marcus Garvey's spirit in your base, in your organizational skills and building platform.
He had to read this. This is the narcissism, but he has to read this. He selects specific ones.
Keep up the good and mighty work. Our master teachers and all African people, as I make my first donation, I hope to be a philanthropist for the Pan African movement. Good day, Dr. Johnson. I want to make a small donation towards your acquisition of the school. This is from a sister out of Washington, D.C. I hope you reach your goal. I hope you get that beautiful campus so we can have a place for our young brothers and sisters. Thanks for all of your hard work. I will be on the lookout for updates. Dr. Johnson, let me applaud you for your vision and dedication. I just learned about you through the diverse issues in higher education news. I went to your website and discovered the wonderful work.
Hey, listen, I can't say that because I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't hold it past him at this point. See, maybe back then I'd be like, that sounds realistic. But after really getting in and researching into this guy, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him at all. You know, he could have written all this out in advance, had it prepared. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
This is a small donation, but I will do my part to help spread the words. I support your goals. Stay strong. I'm praying that you get the resources you need for your school. And then the last one.
Yeah, he does. He does wear glasses. In fact, that's one of the reasons why he gets afraid up there at the trap bandos, is because when people approach him, he can't see them. It's blurry. So you'll see him start going like this and squinting. And then usually if he's scared, he'll shout out, he'll go Black Power. But that's his way of trying to gauge who's coming toward him. If they respond with Black Power, then he knows that he's safe until he can actually see the person. It's so ridiculous. The whole situation up there from trap banners is ridiculous. But you guys notice he ain't been up there in a long time. Okay? He ain't been up there. He need to get back up there and get some work done. All right, thanks, Darius King, for the super chat. Also, thanks, Tata. Umar arithmetic will be taught at every. Yeah, you're right about that. He's gonna be teaching them everything. He's gonna teach everything. They're gonna learn good. They're gonna learn how to. Let me stop. I shouldn't even be talking like that. That's from yesterday. I need to let that go. Thanks, the light seeker, for the super chat. Thanks, Tata. Thanks, Darius, for the super chat as well. Here we go.
I'll read, and I have much, much more. I'm excited about the school you're endeavoring to build. Please find my resume enclosed. I'm interested in being of service to you and our youth. Please keep me informed about the progress that you are making. If I can be of help in any way, please contact me. So I've been getting these every day, emails, Facebooks, tweets, texts, Instagrams, WhatsApps, you name it. Again, I am very, very humbled and honored.
He's been getting them Texas people. You know how Texas Diva know what I'm talking about. Umar been getting them Texas again. He said Texas. yeah. Yeah, he writes stuff down on. He said Texas. I said, okay, you very humble. That's what he wanted to say. God's little princess. That's really what he said. Okay, let me get up out of here. You guys. San Antonio even. Houston as well. Houston even. Okay, here we go.
By the support that I have gotten from the overall Black community, had it not been for them, we wouldn't have even been as successful as we are. It's only been 27 days. And in 27 days, we're still under $100,000, but we're not far from it either, And so I have to say that most people would be satisfied to do that well in 27 days. And so I should not be so eager and so impatient to not recognize that my people really did come through for me, even if I'm not successful in getting to school on Wednesday.
This guy figured he gonna raise $1 million in a month for now. Real quick, we're gonna come back to this, but I want to show you guys an example of what I mean when it comes to Umar not knowing what he was doing. And here he's still not clear about what he's doing, but I want to go to this other video where he's sitting in the park, and you can tell the difference between the video I'm about to play and then this one. By the time he gets to this particular video, he has it formulated a lot better. It's, it sounds like he knows what he's doing, but he really doesn't. Time always tells the truth, and he told the truth. But I want to go back to this other video where it's clearly evident that he has no clue what he's doing, and he's sitting inside the park in this video. I ain't been getting no Texas. Yeah, I don't think he said that. He said he ain't. He said Arkansas. I ain't heard from y'all. I never heard him say I ain't getting no Texas. He said Texas. I've been getting my Texas. Thanks, Iceman Man. Black Wolf says Umar looks like a scammer. You think his mom had him groomed by then? So let's see. You think his mom had him groomed by then? So it was and is his makeup as a scamming man? Speak on it. Well, I don't want to speak too much about the mama. And I try not to do that. I don't like to talk about the dad. I've talked about the dad, but that's because he spent so much time harassing me, and sending me some of the weirdest stuff on Facebook. I said, something wrong with you too. My goodness. Just some weirdo stuff. He used to come on my platform. Y'all remember this? And I think he was just clout chasing off of Umar, to be honest with you. But I try to stay off of Umar's family members. I've researched them too, but it's not to cause harm. It's just to get a better understanding of why Umar is the way that he is. So I'll say at least this, Black Wolf, that if you did your due diligence and research Umar's history and his family, you'll realize that he was raised in an environment where scamming was the norm. Just trying to find ways to get over on people and get over on the system. And there's people who are like that. They're always trying to file suit for something, You know, there are people who will stage a car accident and try to collect on the insurance. They'll stage a fire to collect on that insurance. They'll slip and fall, you know, to collect money on a slip and fall scam. You know, there's people who are like that. And so without saying too much, I want people to understand that Umar was raised in an environment where it was normalized. There were things that were normalized, and it becomes a grooming aspect. And it may not even been intentional per se, but if you're raised and you're seeing certain things taking place and it's consistent, you know, it's not extraordinary, you may pick up those behaviors and those mannerisms, or even you'll pick up the mentality. That's really what I'm getting at. Okay, is that enough, Black Wolf? I don't want to say too much. But if you all want to do your own personal research, you can do that, and you can find it online. It's all out there, court cases and such, and you'll realize that Umar, in my opinion, he picked up the mentality from his childhood, just the mentality of always trying to get over, never going the straight and narrow, instead trying to figure out alternative ways where you can get money out of people, get money out of the system without putting in the work that would be necessary to do it in a legitimate manner, to get that same amount of money in a legitimate manner. Well, that's Umar. I hope I didn't say too much, and I always try to be respectful of people's family, and I always try to be respectful of their children. You know, I have all kinds of receipts, and I've done a lot of research into the people. Same thing with his baby mamas. You guys see, I have more concern about them than Umar does. I'm not going to put their names out there. I'm not going to put their pictures out there. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff. See? I focus on Umar, and to the degree to which information with people on the periphery, family members, so forth, whatever I've been able to gather from them, it's not about them personally. It's about their relationship with Umar and what I can ascertain by researching them as it relates to Umar. See, and this right here is another area that people, you know, you might be interested in taking a look into. I'll say it that way, Black Wolf. Okay. You know, it may be, I don't think it is, but it may be that's one of the reasons why I have a level of compassion for Umar. I know we joke and clowning, but I also understand to a certain degree how he was raised and what he was raised around. It's still not an excuse, though, you know, for him to be doing what he's doing. It's still not an excuse. Many of us, we've been raised in difficult situations, but it's not about how we were raised. It's about how we raise ourselves up and how can we do better. And for Umar to be doing this now for 14 years, that there's no excuse for that. None. All right. All right. Thanks, Black Wolf, for the super chat. I hope I didn't say too much. Which one of you queens want to give Umar? Yeah, Umar, he'll ask for a back massage. That's one thing. He will ask for them queens to give him a back massage. You ain't going to hear, I wouldn't even ask my wife for a back massage. Ain't happening. Now, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me behave. I'm going to stay focused. Okay, thanks, Jay, the light secret. But I have quite a few videos of Umar asking for massages and all this kind of stuff. Thanks for the super chat. And also thanks, Black Wolf, for the super chat as well. All right, let me play a little bit more of this. I got this other video pulled up, and we're going to get into that. And then we're going to go to the other video from, I was going to say Jay Morrison, from Boyce Watkins. And then we'll come up back and finish this up. We got about 800 people. I don't know how we're doing on likes, but if you haven't hit the like button, it's going to take like a second. That's all it's going to take, and hit that button. I appreciate it. Boy, you chat room, y'all mean. Here we go.
What we do need, we've already received resumes for those, not to mention my own inner circle of educators. So in terms of the staffing, we're fine. Operating the school is the least of my worries. That's what I look forward to. That's going to be the best part, getting them children in there and giving them an education that nobody else is giving them.
Can you believe this guy?
And please, people, stop asking me to do a homeschool. I'm not interested in no homeschool. We need institutions. I commend those people who are doing homeschools, but that's a Band-Aid. I'm looking for a solution. We need institutions. We need infrastructure. You know, opening my house to 30 kids and teaching them, that's good. But that's not what we need. We need institutions with infrastructure for our children where we can educate, you know, hundreds of them and begin to socialize them together and reacculturate them. I'm not interested in no homeschool. I commend those people who are doing that, but that's not enough for me. We need real schools, not homeschools.
Dang, here we are now, 14 years into this. He don't have a real school, and there's plenty of people who've opened up schools and home schools and all that stuff. Not Umar. Nothing practical, nothing meaningful or tangible that has come out of this. I mean, real quick question. Can you think of anything that has come out that is tangible from Umar Johnson outside of him running his mouth based upon what he has promised? I can't think of anything. He had the the BPIP or whatever it was. I don't know. The DOS, you know, he had the DOS. He had the PCDI. I can't remember what it was. It was the National Institute of Black Leprechauns, something like that. Was that what that black number? Did he have something called the National Institute for the Black Leprechauns or something like that? I can't remember what it was. He had the organization for the oppressed black sharks. I said, yeah, what you mean the oppressed black? Something like that. The UNIBPA, I can't remember. He had something, but he had all kind of stuff. But if we think about it, what did he actually do? I can't think of nothing. Two block parties. He got food. No, but I'm being serious. For real though, he got no. Don't say that. Someone said he got Maria. I hope not. That's a sad. That is so sad. He got me. I ain't gonna lie though, John. When I saw Miguel, boy, I was getting into it. I was like, yeah, he was grooving. He started doing like this and started shaking that stinky leg. When he started shaking that stinky leg, I said, oh, yeah. I said, yeah. Go do your thing, Miguel. Well, how's it going back to the Vegas? A big fat nothing burger. I can't think of nothing. No, there's no janitor. I mean, he had people who were out there cutting the lawn. That was Ray. I don't know if you saw that, but I could play it. But that was one of the saddest things. It was out of a slave movie. You remember? I'm serious. I was really thinking like, man, this reminds me of sugar plantation. Y'all remember that? I could pull it up, but I was shocked. I said. Yeah. That's really what the deal is. He should just stick to speaking, and that's why I told people, you know, if you don't send any money for his speaking, that's fine. But this school stuff, that's crazy. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Yeah, it was some slave mores. It's one of the sad. Ray, did you see that? I think you were here when we played it. It was one of the saddest things. Okay, but we got to stay focused. Yeah, he can run his mouth. He can run his mouth. He just be coming off the top of the dome, like just with crazy stuff too. Just be throwing out stuff. But he can talk. He can talk. One thing about him, he can talk. All right. Okay, we at 313. We should be able to get to 500. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. Hopefully we can get to it before we finish up here. All right, let's get back to it. Let me play a little bit more. Let me go ahead and do this. Otherwise, we ain't gonna never get to what we need to get to. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna do a video file, and I do not understand. Oh no, here it is right here. Okay, let me play this. This is from May 30th of 2014. Okay, and the video, I believe the video that we were watching is after this one. Now, I want you guys to be clear about this. When I play this, listen to how Umar, when he talks about this FDMG college, St. Paul, he doesn't have it formulated in his head like he did in the other video. It just goes to show you he never really had a plan. Watch this.
All right, I see it. Okay. Our guest is Umar A. Johnson.
This is recorded in like 120. I said, what in the world?
School psychologist, an educator, author, empowerment facilitator, who has taken on the awesome challenge to create the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey
What's up, Chris?
Academy.
Chris is in the building.
The grounds from St. Paul's College, which recently closed its doors. Welcome, brother.
What's up, Lucy?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. You are renowned, particularly from your YouTube videos and your lectures and the information that you give in terms of what's happening.
I know, that's crazy. Look at this shirt.
People, the menticide and the genocide aimed at our people.
I just realized that this guy has a shirt that says property of Frederick Douglass. Then it says RBG Boys Academy. Look at it. He looked like he about to tell some lies, don't he? I think he been like this since he was a child. Can you believe this, Ray? I never noticed this. This is an old video too. This is old. This is from 2014. It's a decade, almost a decade old. RBG is red, black, and green. Yeah, I know. That's what that is, Erica. That's really what that is. Yeah, he did. I think he invented it. No, I don't even think he invented the term. I think what's the name invented it? What's that comedian who ain't funny? What's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but he wrote a book, something think like a man, act like a cheetah, something like that. I said, y'all know what I'm talking about? But he was talking about cookies, to give out the cookies. Umar probably read that in there, and here he go. Umar is. Yeah, he been lying forever, Vince. He can't not lie. He just be lying. Yeah, I know. I pray for Umar. I ain't gonna lie about it. This is from 2014. Okay, this is May of 2014. It was in April that he claims that he first started raising money for FDMG, but really that's when he first started raising money for the St. Paul school scam. Prior to that, he had been raising money for different iterations of a school scam. It's just that things didn't start to formulate and get codified until around 2014. But if you listen to him right here, and you listen to him carefully, he doesn't really have a clear plan or idea about what he's putting together. But then by the second video where he's dressed up, he's in a suit, his hair is cut, he got the glasses on, he looks more professional. He has a better idea. This is scammer behavior. He has a better understanding of what he's trying to pull off compared to right here. Look at this.
The connection and the link from what you're doing as a psychologist and educator.
What's up, Dion?
What you're attempting to do with the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey.
Information Man is in the building. We have to give a shout out to Information Man is now here. The party has now begun. Let's go.
Academy.
I think it's all related. I think it's all one and the same. There's a war against black boys that's sending more of them to the cemetery and to the prison, to college, or into business. And that school to prison pipeline has a big piece in the middle called special education and ADHD.
Lewis Lex said, this is a low budget production. Only thing missing is the smoke alarm beeping in the background because black folks don't change the batteries. That's true though. Black people don't be changing their batteries for the smoke alarm. I don't get it. It drives me nuts. I can't. Any little sound that keep going and repeating, it just drives me crazy. I got to turn the refrigerator off and the water dispenser off too, just because I don't like it. You guys can't even hear it, but it bothers me. But I don't know what that is. It's a cultural thing. We just let that thing beep. It's probably from when we used to use pagers. Y'all remember pagers? He said, we're going to let it go. Sound like Bobby my pager. Anybody here ever have a pager? Hit the one. Okay. I never owned one. My sister had one. I don't know why. She had one and I used to use it. And then at a certain, I used to, let me just wear it for, when I go to school. And then sometimes it was at a certain point, it got cut off, but then that's when she stopped using it. So I used to wear it myself. It was a red one. Younger people, listen, you younger people, Lewis, let the younger people like, what's a pager? Let me look at here and see if anybody got it. Anybody in here ever had a pager? Let's see. Let's get into this. Black Mario, that's right. Black Eastwood had one, got a little princess. Derek Frank said, I already know Vince said he probably got one right there in that picture. Look at him. He in the cut. I know he got one all right there. LL Cool J had a pager. MC Lioness had a pager as well. Renee. Wow, this is I would have never thought. Renee had one, Owen had one, Black Bob Cosmic had one. A mirror. Some of you younger people don't even know what this is. Whole Southern Cooks had one. Lisa Lewis. Ed Thompson had, Ed one because he be hating. He got to have one. Information Man had 3 of them. Seven still, we old, y'all. We old. Staj had one. Quotation Sports. Naeem, this is the old people. Yeah, lady, you probably younger. That's probably why. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here who had pages. Okay, all right. Anyone still have a pager? Okay, even if it don't work. Okay, go ahead and hit the 2. All right. I wonder if you can still get pager service. I'm sure there has to be one company out there that still will give you pager service. I'm sure of it. Marley, you have one too? Anybody else? Who else? John, I already knew John the Kid had one. Okay. He's a man of culture. You ever yesterday? I put that thing up there. It was crazy. I am unique had one too. Yeah, we used to say that back in the day. Just beep me or just pay. But we used to say that because we used to call it beepers. That's what we called it. You was like 3 with. Do you remember the commercials for JJ, the King of Beepers? I got to check out the story. I never saw anything. Let me go look it up. It might still be online somewhere. Let me go see. You said JJ. I don't remember those commercials. Let's see. Because them commercials back then, boy, if we could do a show just watching old commercials, they were hilarious. JJ, the King, it's coming up. Let's see. Oh, let me see if it lets me do it. It may not even let me do it. Okay, hold on, Mixers Monica. We're going to go back into the time machine from back in the day when it was all good in the hood, as we used to say. All right, here we go. Let me know if y'all can hear the audio. Let's see. This is what Mixers Monica was talking about.
Yeah. For the hottest deal in beepers, call 369-2700. Only $14.99. Never miss a call. Call the King of Beepers now and order your own beeper. Your ace in the hole. Oh, yeah. JJ Imports, the King of Beepers. We've got the one. I'm JJ, King of Beepers. Call 369-2700 for your own beeper.
King of Beeper. I don't remember. I may have seen that, but I can't recall. The singing was horrible. You guys hear the singing? We got to play that back one time. I know we got blown down. Here we go. What? Why does she have on a bikini with a beeper? Because they weren't waterproof. So what, you're going to go get in the pool or go into the ocean with? It don't even make no sense. Anyway. That's the Black Queen. That's okay. I got it. That's the Black Queen. All right.
For the hottest deal in beepers, call 369-2700. Only $14.99. Never miss a call. $14.99. Call the King of Beepers now and order your own beeper. Your ace in the hole. Oh, yeah. JJ Imports, the King of Beepers. We've got the one. I'm JJ, King of Beepers. Call 369-2700 for your own beeper.
What in the world? I'm JJ, King of Beepers. King of Beepers. For $14.99, I would pay for one right now. That's when the stuff was cheap, though. These days, well, I tell you, get you one for $14.99. You can't beat that. I'm JJ, King of Beepers. Boy, this. All right, I don't even know what happened. How did we even get there? Someone said something about a pager. What? Oh, it was because someone brought up something about the fire. See, this is crazy. Louis Suck said something about the black people don't change the battery in the fire extinguisher. We all the way over here to JJ. I'm the king of better. Boy, we wild. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's see how Umar don't. You can tell he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? He never knows what he's talking about.
And a lot of times people don't necessarily implicate the role that special education and ADHD has in the psychoacademic war against black boys. Being a
he sound like polite right here, just making up words don't even fit.
School psychologist, getting my start right here with the school district of Philadelphia, I saw firsthand how special ed was used as a weapon of mass destruction against black boys. I saw how the learning disabilities and the ADHD and the mental retardation was being used to suffocate our boys in the.
See, the terminology, that's antiquated terminology. Even back then, 10 years ago, you didn't use that type of terminology. That just goes to show you you know, he's not a school psychologist. Not one at all. You know, I think I'm gonna get me a beeper just because I'm gonna see if they got them on Amazon. Even if they don't work, I'm gonna give me one just to floss, as we used to say, because that's what we used to do. They didn't even work. We would still have them on just to be flossing. Anyway.
Rob them of an adequate education. And so I came to the realization several years ago while I was working as an assistant principal to open up my own school, because in doing that, I can give them the psychological support and I could give them the educational support that they need. So for me, building the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy was a logical next step from my work as a school psychologist, which was to try to save children who are already academically marginalized to being in a position to actually raise them and socialize them and educate them appropriately so they never end up as cannon fodder in the war against black boys.
So what was the significance of choosing St. Paul's? There are a lot of places you could have gone, a lot of facilities that probably may have opened their doors to you, but what's the imperative for you to use St. Paul?
St. Paul's, a lot of it had to do with availability, location, feasibility, and costs. For example, Morris Brown College was just sold to the city of Atlanta for about $14 million. That's a pretty price versus what St. Paul's is looking for, which is in the low millions. Also, there's other historically black colleges that may soon...
Yeah, that's what that is. They still do this these days, but back then it was way over the top. A lot of those old commercials from back in the day, there was like no filter. Some of you guys may remember that. There's things that used to come on TV back then that they wouldn't even show these days. It reminds of how, like, if you guys remember Predator, the movie Predator. Well, there's a scene where Jesse the Body Ventura, he uses the F word talking about homosexuals. You can't get away with that these days. You would not be able to get away with that. Back, it was a different time. Some of you guys may remember this, older people. It really was a different time. Political correctness was not a thing. It was a thing, but not a thing. These days, it's totally different. Now, sexual imagery is still used these days to sell products and even to sell services. But back then, it was so over the top. You know, there's no reason for these women to be in bikinis. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? But, you know, again, it's just you sexualize sexual images and you get people to buy things based on that. Back then, it was a wild time. Okay, and I'm not saying that it doesn't happen these days, but back then it was all over the place. Yeah. Another example was Eddie Murphy Raw. I mean, I laugh so hard, but you listen to it now, you be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be laughing about that. So it's a different time these days. Same thing with the commercials, television shows too. There's television shows that we can go back and go look. We can actually pull them up on YouTube. They'll have them up there, and you be like, what? Just crazy. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm telling you, it was a wild. And I don't know how old you are, Darius, but it was such a different time back then. And we didn't have the internet, you know, no smartphones. Why is this coming up? Right, it's going to the wrong. We barely had started to get video game consoles back then. Let's go to, I was born in the 70s, but let's go to the 1980s. Watch this. I can just put it just to see what comes up. Well, I just picked this one. I mean, we could do a show to start covering if you guys want to, because I'm gonna be kicking. I was thinking about starting a new show called The Kick It Spot, and we just get on here and just hang out for 20, 30 minutes, and we can do something like this and watch this kind of crazy stuff just to hang out and have a good time. Watch this. Listen, I didn't go look for nothing. I just typed it in there, and the first video that popped up, I'm gonna give you an example right now. I'm telling you, it was such a different time back then. You can't even compare it to these days. All the way across the board, it's just a different time period. Let me do a screen share. Share audio. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio on this when I started. Here we go.
Hello, Fukada-san here with very interesting cooking tip. Did you know real lemon made from real fresh lemons? Oh yes, real lemon tastes just like real fresh lemons. Very good, very easy to use. You can use real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons, in cooking and baking, or many places. Can even use to make nice lemon pie. That's lemon. Yes, lemon. Try real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons.
Play the provincial, it's fabulous fun. You'll love that. 1,000 surprises every week to be won.
Our $5 chicken, and it's good for 5 tries.
Friday could be your day, 'cause I could go your way. Play the provincial, the weekly provincial. Yes, sir.
500,000 is the weekly grand prize.
You'll love it.
Instant prizes up to 5.
Damn. What? This is from the 80s. Okay, we're going to end that right there. My goodness gracious. We're going to have to do, y'all want to do a show? We can start a new show. We just have to come up with a title. It don't have to be the kicking spot. Kicking spot could just be the kicking spot. We got to come up with a title for it, though. That's what I'm saying. That's wild. But you know what? Let me tell y'all something. We got to get back to it. I'm going to tell y'all something. When I was in the 4th or 5th grade, there was this board game, and the board game had cards, and one of the cards, it had for each letter of the alphabet, it had a name, and that letter for that alphabet was negro, and on it was a Sambo character. That would have been in the 80s. So this is what I'm saying. It was just a different time. A very different time than what people are used to, Darius. Yeah, man, that's wild. Boy, it threw me for a loop. I don't even want to continue. We'll leave it at that. We'll get back to Umar. Yeah, you forget about that stuff. I mean, we really were raised and we watched this stuff. A lot of stuff, you know, just we forget about it, but it was out there all over the TV back in the day. Okay, let's get back to it. And thanks for the super chat too. I appreciate it. Here we go.
Come up for sale as well, but they're not at the selling stage. And because I want my school to be residential, I was looking for a place that had the dormitories as well as the athletic facilities, as well as the academic facilities. And St. Paul's being in Virginia on the Eastern Seaboard, not too far from.
Yeah, but we would have to come up with the name for the show. If anybody have any ideas, let me know. If we can go back and watch like old commercials, maybe some cartoon clips, that kind of stuff. Retro something. If anyone comes up with the name, I'm down to do it. I mean, we have a good time. Like just chill for a little bit. Here we go.
Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, not too far from North Carolina, South Carolina. It was just the perfect location. The size is doable, manageable, small but large enough to make happen what we need to see happen for our young men.
Yeah, so, you're right. Because now what popped in my mind real quick was, and then we got to get going. Even Tom and Jerry. They used to have this, the mother, like it's not even a mother because it's a cat and a mouse. I don't even know if she had a name or whatever, but they wouldn't, I don't remember them ever showing her face, but it was, maybe they did. I don't think they ever showed the face, but she would have on the thing on her head, like a Aunt Jemima thing. And then she would, Thomas, and then she's running around chasing that kind of stuff. Well, I forgot about that, but yeah, that was in Tom and Jerry.
It would be the perfect place for a lot of
she was a maid? Okay.
Now, have you contacted them? Or
yes, I've met with the president.
And
yes, all of that. I've met with the president. I've met with the realty company that represents
Yeah, that's what it was.
And the president and I, more than
cool.
anything else, have been in contact on a regular basis, you know, and they're hoping that I can make the money that's necessary, that I can raise the funds. But if not, I understand that they do have some bills that got to be paid before they close out the facility. So if they have to sell it, then they have to sell it, you know, but they are compassionate to what I'm trying to do, and they're trying to exercise as much patience as possible. But at the end of the day, business is still business, right. Which is why I'm hoping that members of our community, the African and African American community, will help me by supporting to the fundraiser that they go to Dr. Umar Johnson School.com. DRUMAR Johnson School.com. Click on the PayPal link and donate as much as you can. And don't donate once, come back 2 and 3 times. And I also ask that you donate what you're able to give. Don't give me $20 if you're giving the gas station $100. Don't give me $10 if you're giving your hairdresser, your cosmetologist, $300 a week, but you're only going to give me $20 for our boys. So I'm asking people to give what they're able to give. If you can only give $10, I accept that humbly as the best you can do, and I will value that donation as much as I would a much larger donation. But if you're going to give me something that is beneath what you're able to do, then that's kind of disrespectful, and that's an insult for what we're trying to do. There's a war against black boys, and I'm at the forefront of trying to reverse it. We have a lot of scholars who they talk about it, but they're not doing anything. Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to do something about that war by giving our children a heaven on earth and a home away from the home, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG Academy, where there will be no special ed, there will be no suspension, there will be no expulsion, there will be no need for psychiatric medication or ADHD. We will also have a small program.
Taco Tuesdays. All right, let me quit goofing off. But listen to Umar. I'm so blown off talking about all this other stuff. Hold on.
For deaf children, a small program for blind
children.
I like that
right
a small
there.
program for autistic children, and a small program also for children with serious mental illness. That's what we're looking to do. The school is going to be a school that prepares our children for global economic leadership and domination. We're going to be teaching agricultural and agronomical science. We're going to be
here you go.
Teaching economic and financial science. We're going to be teaching spiritual and nutritional science, science of the black family, science of the black community. We will also be teaching spiritual and astrological science.
Yeah, that's cool, right? Okay? I like that.
And there will be political and military, economic and financial, agricultural, diet, family, and spirituality. Those will be the 6 core sciences. We will also have.
No, I've seen that too. I've seen that in the past. It may be, you might be able to find it online though. I've seen that before. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that stuff. Disney used to have a lot of racist stuff too. I mean, a gang of it.
An aviation program, a maritime academy. There will be midwifery programs for the young ladies to be taught how to deliver babies the natural way. There will be an entrepreneurship academy, real estate academy. It's going to be nothing like we've ever seen from any school in this country.
I was talking to on my show about what you're doing is reminiscent of what Booker T. Washington, Marion Cloud Bethune.
Yeah, that's cool too. Retro remix.
The people that the father that you talked about that founded St. Paul's, and it's almost like we're going back to that era where we saw a need and actually did it for the most part without a
that's what he said.
Support from the European community.
Mirror's like, why?
But initially, a lot of those schools were started with the nickels and dimes of
goodness.
Farmers, people who didn't have a lot because we weren't
all over the place.
Those levels
but listen, that's what I'm saying though.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really don't have a
I remember
mindset
that was from Dumbo.
Altruism, do for self, and philosophy.
But this is what I'm getting at, lady. He was so all over the place. He didn't have it formulated quite yet. He's still all over the place these days. But the point is that back in 2014, when he started collecting money, he didn't know. He didn't have, conceptually speaking, he had an idea, but it wasn't like a fortified concept that he can explain outright. So that's why he's throwing this stuff about delivering babies, but this is supposed to be for boys who are having challenges, etc. The other thing people don't realize or may not remember is that initially Umar, the focus was supposed to be on black boys who had mental issues or behavioral issues, and that he was going to specialize as a school psychologist. He was going to specialize in providing them with services, education services. But he actually abandoned all of that. See, you rarely hear him talking like that. He says there's not going to be any ADHD. There's not going to be Lenon. Well, what that means is that he's not going to be offering those services, which is illegal in point of fact. I mean, it all becomes a moot point though anyway, because the school will never open, you know. But it just goes to show you that back then he's mixing all kinds of things up because he didn't have a clear concept. He had an idea, but not a clear concept. Okay, let me play just a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go back to the other video. Here we go.
So as part of your work to get us to understand that and get back to that?
Yes, it is. We have to get back to cooperative economics. We have to get back to cooperative education. But I also think that the education systems that we build going forward will be education systems that allow our children to keep pace with the current direction of education in the world and in the country. So for example, right now, too many black parents are forced to choose between sending their child to a defunct underfunded and disconnected public school, or send them to a charter school system, or send them to an African-centered school system where you might get culture, but you might not get.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's class stereotyping white people as clans. We don't do that here. I don't know if you're familiar with my YouTube page, but we don't do stuff like that here. We don't classify or stereotype any group of people. And I've never called, and I hope no one in the chat room is saying stuff like that, because that we don't talk like that. Yeah, we don't, that's not our mess. Now, Umar will talk like that. See. But in terms of blackface has always been racist. You know, its origins run deep. And if you guys do the research, because I've actually done the research when it first started to appear on the scene, and it became like okay, this may sound like an overstatement simply because the reach of hip hop is global, but the reach of hip hop and its globalization has a lot to do with the advent of certain technologies that allowed it to go global. Whereas back in the day, blackface, it actually went global. And I'm not trying to compare that it went global to the same degree as hip hop, but as a common, popular genre of entertainment, if we want to call it that, it went global. And even to this day, there's countries that still have shows and stuff like that. You guys would be amazed at what you learn about the whole blackface thing. And it was rooted in racism and the promotion of negative racial stereotypes about black people played out by white people. And there's even instances of black people dressing up and covering themselves in blackface to play out these negative racial stereotypes about black people. Blackface, it was a popular form of entertainment. It wasn't just something that people just, no, it was a lot of it came out of vaudeville. Hit the one. It came out of vaudeville. And it became the popular form of entertainment, and it went global. People from other countries doing it. And again, people probably still, I know in one country they still do it. There's a whole big, there was a documentary on it that I saw on YouTube a couple of years ago, I think more than a couple of years ago. And it's crazy how people still to this day, they're into that, you know. Anyway, we don't talk like Umar talks here on this platform. So just to be clear about that, let's go.
Effective academics. So I don't.
Yeah, it was in Holland.
Black
Yep,
parents
that's
have
it.
to choose
Holland.
between learning and culture. So we have parents who are putting their children in white schools because they want
propaganda.
the quality of education.
What's up, Dion?
But the children are also
What's up,
going to get
Stosh?
an indoctrination and self-hatred. On the other side, you can put them in an
351. Yeah, if we
charter
got it.
school
Well,
where they
let
learn
me
about
not
culture,
ask.
but
I'm
where
not
the
going to ask. I was hoping to
may
get to
not
500. We probably not
necessarily
going to do
be
that today
what it
because
we
got to
need a
start wrapping
system
this
where
up.
they get the culture at a 100% optimal level and the academics at a 100% optimal level. Our parents should not have to sacrifice culture for learning and learning for culture, because education is a part of African culture. So you shouldn't have to choose between them. You should be able to bring them together. And if
See how none of this makes sense? Okay, I just want to give that example, but let's go back to this video. Then we're going to get to Maria Lloyd, and then we'll come back to this
Point is, I am formulating a database. So when the time comes for me to start hiring staff and faculty, I will already have a database of expertise. And so when it's time to start tapping into people's experience and training levels and aptitude, and when it's time to start interviewing for key positions and all positions.
That was a great movie. It was really good. I mean, it was deep. That was a deep movie. I think that's probably one of the last Spike Lee movies that I actually felt like was on par with, or a good movie, because he had a lot of, and no shade, he's done some fantastic work too. Do the Right Thing. Malcolm X that movie right there was great. Like, that's up there, and not just in terms of black film production, but just film production period. Terrence Blanchard did the soundtrack. He's amazing. He's a jazz trumpeter, but he got in, he broke into doing like arrangements and scores for movie scores, and he's fantastic too. Then of course you had Denzel Washington in it too. Anyway, let's get back to it. I get carried away.
I won't have to go putting out help wanted signs. I will already have a database of African people who I can tap into.
So you have put it out there.
Oh yes, it's out there. We've received over 200 resumes. Over 200 resumes, which is quite ambitious. Of course, I need everyone who sent a resume to make a donation to the school before Wednesday.
Here we
Because
go.
obviously people who have donated, they will be given a degree of preference when it comes to hiring and when it comes to admitting children into our school.
You can't do that. You can't determine how your hiring practice can't be based on whether or not someone donate. That's crazy. You get sued so quick.
Because they went above and beyond the call of duty, and I'm going to make sure that they are honored. I'm going to have some sort of a honorary system for people who donate, and because they make up the first wave of donors, when the St. Paul's campaign closes, I want to make sure that they are honored. So when FDMG is open, whether it's at St. Paul's or at another location, I'm going to make sure that I honor these people, whether they gave $1 or $1,000 in trying to help me to achieve this goal in such a short span of time. And for those who gave above and beyond, there will be extra reward for those who gave the 500s and gave the $1,000 donations. I want to give them an extra special thank you because they didn't have to do that. They went above and beyond the call of duty in writing out $500 and $1,000 checks. And
yeah, there you go. So he would hire a bad person that donated more than a good person that didn't. yeah, that's crazy.
These came from individuals, by the way. These are not organizational checks. You know, they came from individuals. And so for somebody to care enough about what I'm doing and care enough about the future of black boys to give me $1,000, money don't come easy for black people. Definitely not in these economic times. So I'm going to make sure I honor each and every one of them, whether they gave $1 or $1,000. But for those who gave above, who gave $500 and above, I want to give them a special token of appreciation. I've gotten a couple. The CAAE organization, they have donated. I want to thank them for that. The PAIC organization out of Newberry, South Carolina, they've donated. The African Methodist Episcopal Church of Tulsa, Oklahoma, they gave one of the first donations. The United African Movement, led by Queen Mother Leola and attorney at war Alton Maddox, they donated. So I did receive a couple of organization checks, and I'm leaving out a few. We probably gotten about a handful of organization checks, less than what I should have gotten, because I've helped a lot of organizations out in my 15 years of speaking. I've done a lot of free work. And there's a lot of people I've really helped out who didn't donate.
Are there any types of individuals or organizations that you would not accept monies from? For example, let's say an organization wants to invest in your school, meaning that they want to perhaps own a percentage or even...
I'm not giving any ownership. And invest, I have to be careful with that. Because if someone wants to invest in my school with a capitalistic intent, meaning I want to put in to get back, I want to make money off your school, this is not the place for that. I'm not opening this school to get rich. It's going to be a not-for-profit academy, not a for-profit academy. I'm not doing this to swell my pockets or the pockets of anyone else. So if you want to invest philanthropically without no expectation of return, I'm looking for those kind of investors. That's what these donations have been. These are people who are investing philanthropically because their payoff for helping me isn't going to be monetarily, it's going to be spiritually. And it's going to be in seeing the next generation of African boys being properly educated and prepared for this racist society that they have to live among. So that's going to be their payoff. Right. But someone who's looking to...
Yeah, he still didn't know what he was talking about, but you can tell he had a better conceptual basis, at least in this video compared to the other one. You see, but even still, he's asking for $1 million, and he went to $2 million, went to $4 million. But this is what he was offering as what he was trying to accomplish. He has no idea. He's not talking about how much it's going to cost to operate. He's not talking about how much it's going to cost to renovate. He's not talking about. Well, actually, I think he does mention that, but he has no specific figure based on someone going in there, a professional going in there and analyzing the situation and saying, okay, well, this is all itemized list. This is what needs to be repaired. This is what needs to be replaced. Here's an itemized list on how much it's going to cost, et cetera, et cetera. None of that was in place. He's just basically it's a pipe dream. That's what people called it. He had no idea what he was talking about. And meanwhile, here we are these days, and there's still no school. Here we are a decade later from the time almost a decade since he actually did this video.
Make money off the school, I'm not interested in that type of investment.
So those that donate to the school, are the donations tax deductible?
Not at this point. Once we are tax deductible, which hopefully should be by the time tax season comes around, most of them should be able to retroactively write off the amount that they.
No. To the best of my knowledge, no one has been able to write off anything to date. In the first place, for the first 2 years, he did not have tax exempt status anyway. So he didn't have a nonprofit status. So in essence, it's by default, it's for profit. So people can't write that off anyway. He's such a liar, and he knew that. That's why he's admitting that. And the reason why is because he didn't have his paperwork in order, because he wasn't filing the proper paperwork with the IRS. And I can't remember if it was 2 years or 3 years, successive years. If you don't file, then they revoke your status, your nonprofit status. And that's what happened with Umar. So at a certain point, when he started seeing after he purchased these trap bandos in 2019, when he started to see how much he had to pay, in taxes, he went ahead and set up a new EIN number and set up a new, it's really a shell company, to get non-profit status back. But even still, these days, he doesn't provide people with any information they would need in order to write off anything on their taxes. As a nonprofit, you need to provide that to the public. In fact, it's supposed to be publicly available on a website at the very least. Umar doesn't even have a website for FDMG. So all this talk about people being able to write it off, that's another lie. He couldn't do it then. And even today, even if he could do it, he does have tax exempt status for the last time I checked these days. But you still have to provide people with the information so that they can actually put in for that particular benefit. I'm not using the proper word, but y'all get what I'm trying to say here. It's not my expertise, not even close. All right, let's get going. Here we go.
Donated or some portion of that. But again, and I say this respectfully, we can't only do things expecting to get something back. I've had several people contact me. I want to donate, but I want to make sure I can get it off my tax.
Yeah, you knew a guy who tried to write off the FDMG donations and he got audited. Yeah. If you talk with him, you're interested in coming on to talk about it, he's welcome. Or if you want to talk with me offline, he's welcome. He or she. All right, let's go.
Keep your donation. I'm looking for people who are trying to sacrifice. We are at war as a people, and there's a war against our boys. So if you're telling me you're not going to donate unless you can get some forgiveness on your taxes, don't donate. That's not the type of energy I'm looking for. I'm not going to beg anybody to do what they should be doing. I should not have to sell a school for black boys. It is self-explanatory and in your face every day what's being done to black boys. And I've had a couple people say they want to donate, but only if they can get it written off on their taxes. And these are not people who are trying to donate $1 million or even $1,000, which is interesting because a lot of the criticism I've gotten, and I haven't gotten much criticism, but as you know, I have my share of detractors. They're all over. I have idiots out there who will do anything they can to undermine what I do. Some of them are also speakers in the conscious community, so-called conscious community, who always have things to say. I'm not without those detractors. And it's interesting because the people who are detracting and questioning, what is he doing with the money? Are we sure he isn't stealing it? They haven't donated anything.
So you do get those kinds of questions, those queries?
A couple, but it's, compared to the support, it's almost not even worth mentioning. But yes, there's been a couple people, not many, who've questioned, this brother might be, doing something with the money he's not supposed to. Well, if your check is being made to FDMG Academy, and if there's an account for FDMG Academy, and if it's a federal crime to misappropriate resources, it's a federal crime. That is a felony to misappropriate resources. The last thing I'm worrying about is some jealous conscious community so-called scholar who's saying negative things about me when I know that the IRS and the state is already watching me because I am the most unapologetically of all the speakers in this country, hands down. And I'm probably...
See, back then he would sell out venues and it'd be jam-packed. That's long gone. That ship has sailed. People would come dressed up and everything.
Their chief concern. I'm quite sure they're...
Except that guy right there. He looked like he's about to get to jamming. He's about to Rasta family. Rasta.
Watching my bank account. They're looking at every check. So I have far more to be concerned about from my enemy than I have to do about it than I have from a bunch of reactionary Negroes.
So you're not concerned.
See, Umar still was petty back then. He was able to control it better. That's why I tell people back then he was able to control himself better. These days he started ranting and raging, going crazy. Okay, let's take a quick break from this. We're almost done with this video. Let's go to the Maria Lloyd video. At the time, this was December 2nd, 2015, and she was from the idatedaily.com, and she was on Dr. Boyce Watkins' YouTube page, and this is probably the video that got the most amount of views, or at least it's up there, 242,000 views, 242,840 views to date. All right, so let's watch a little of this.
I'm Maria with iDate Daily and Your Black Women. And I would like to kick off this video by saying if you're offended by things such as facts, accountability, or constructive criticism, go ahead and cut the video off. There's no need to proceed beyond this point because you're going to be offended. Now, for those of you who want to stick around, I'm going to jump straight into it. So this morning, I posted on Facebook. This is December 2nd, Tuesday, December 2nd, 2015. I posted on Facebook inquiring about Dr. Umar Johnson's Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Dr. Umar Johnson, a.k.a. the Prince of Pan Africanism, is currently raising $4 million for this academy. Now, what makes this academy...
Yeah, you see how I told people initially he said $1 million, then he went to $2 million, and then he bumped up to $4 million.
Unique in his opinion is that it has a curriculum that is Afrocentric centered, and then also the students will actually live on campus. So it's almost like a boarding school, but with an Afrocentric curriculum. So he came out the gate initially asking for $2 million.
It was $1 million.
And so I checked his GoFundMe page this morning, and it has since increased to $4 million. Now here's where it gets a little interesting.
Now to be clear, initially he asked for $1 million. I can provide you with this receipt. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can pull it up right here if I have it. Let me see. Well, let me gotta get sidetracked. Anyway, let's keep on.
He asked for the initial $2 million without a business plan, without any track record of having run any institution, especially a multi-million-dollar institution. Essentially, it was just him asking just because he wanted to. In addition to that, unlike most crowdfunding campaigns where, you know, like for example.
Okay, real quick, let me just pull this up. Oh, no, this is right. We need to raise $2 million. Where did I get the $1 million from? I have it from somewhere. I would have to go back and find it. But no, she's right there. But I thought I remember, you know, I could be wrong on that. I highly doubt it, though. I remember he started with $1 million. Let me keep looking at my receipts. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Kickstarter, there's some type of direct incentive for donating your money. So it may be something nominal. It could be if you donate $5, we'll acknowledge you on our Facebook page. Or it could be.
Oh, no. You know what it was? Initially, he in Black Anonymous, correct me if I'm wrong. Initially, I think it was $1 million to put down a deposit or to have the money to put down the deposit. I think that's what it was. Okay. All right. So it's not that I'm wrong. It's just that I'm in the timeline. I'm thinking earlier on. She's talking specifically when the GoFundMe went up. Understand the GoFundMe came up, it went up later. Okay. In the timeline, Umar initially was collecting cash, raw cash, checks and money orders and checks. He would get checks too at venues, but he was also having it sent to his P.O. box in Philadelphia. Okay. But at a certain point, people start to ask, well, can't we just do it virtually? We can just send it through PayPal. He threw a big fit about that. He didn't want to do it, but he ended up getting PayPal. And then they kept on trying to get him to, to set up a crowdfunding. So then he ended up setting up the crowdfunding, and that's when he started off with the $2 million. Okay, but initially he wanted $1 million. That was what the goal was. Okay, all right, here we go. I just want to be clear about that.
And that's more valuable. If you donate $250, you get to get a autographed copy of a book.
Okay, well maybe I am wrong. Maybe he did start for $2 million. Yeah, and if I'm wrong, I always like to correct myself. These types of things, they do. They bother me. I want to be factual. I thought I remember him saying that we need to raise $1 million initially, but then he took it to $2 million when he set up the GoFundMe, and then ultimately he bumped it up to $4 million. But I guess it's not that big. But I just want to be factual. Okay, so I may be wrong on that, and if I am, I apologize, everybody. Okay, but we know that it's either $1 or $2 million when he started to go. I can actually find out. I know where I can look. But let's keep on here. I don't want to get caught up on that. Here we go.
Get to fly to a city and see the movie or whatever it is, right? Some incentives are, you know, more valuable than others. But whatever the case is, you get a direct incentive as a result of your donation.
Yeah, I thought he said $1 million. That's what I thought he said.
Well, GoFundMe, which is the platform that Dr. Johnson has chosen to use for his crowdfunding campaign, does not require this. So you're essentially just giving your money out of sheer support and faith in Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, the problem with that is, it's just basic business logic that you don't fork over your money to an individual who has no track record of running a business, to an individual who can't even provide you with a viable business plan for their business, and to an individual who has a reputation for blocking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember you have this on the blog. The realtor I interviewed told me that the St. Paul's property was $2 million, but needed $10 million to $12 million for repairs. Damn.
Anyone who dare question what he's doing. That doesn't make sense. And that's just a basic business principle. I'm not even sharing any like MBA business knowledge here. This is actually common sense, really. You don't fork over money to anyone, no matter how reputable they may appear to be, without them actually proving to you their unique sales proposition. And in this case, Umar essentially was just asking for the money just because he's Umar Johnson, and that's it. And so the purpose of this video is not, number one, I want to say this is not to slam or, severely criticize Umar Johnson. This is really a conversation with me to the collective Black America. So we have to hold people accountable, right? So obviously you start with the person in the mirror. You hold yourself accountable. What are you doing to lead our people to liberation? What are you doing to better our circumstances, right? But then also those who claim to be in some position of leadership, like an individual who calls himself the Prince of Pan Africanism, you have to hold them accountable as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking him, hey, Dr. Johnson, where's the money going? Because we've given you the money, but there's no school. Hey, Dr. Johnson.
You know what? If memory serves me right, and I could be wrong on this too, just be wrong. But I think that Boyce Watkins was really using this young lady to go at Umar. That's what I think was happening. Because there was the whole issue with because Boyce had done videos to criticize Umar too about the school, and I in my mind I just think he used, because Boyce used to do this. He would use the women to go after different men. I think that's what was happening here. But let's continue. I want to get through this video. Let me go back to the other video and finish up. Here we go.
We notice that you keep changing the goal for this campaign. Why is that? Hey, Dr. Johnson, you claimed that you had secured the full $2 million before this so-called...
Yeah, I'm just trying to find things that I'm wrong about now. I'm just trying to be wrong as best I can. All right, let me go out. Here we go.
...called scandal with a conscious stripper broke. Well, how is it that it just so happened that this money evaporated after this so-called scandal? How did that occur? Why are we just now finding out that you had secured this funding when this so-called scandal broke? I mean, it's okay to support him and hold him accountable. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And the buck doesn't stop with Umar Johnson. This is even the case with Reverend Al Sharpton. How dare anyone ask Reverend Al Sharpton, why have you met with the president, not once, not twice, 3 times on record? Why have you met with the President of the United States of America 3 times to discuss a so-called Black agenda that never came to fruition? What happened with that? I wrote an article about this a while ago. I think it was last year, actually. I did a considerable amount of research on the fact that Reverend Al Sharpton had met with the president. He and his cronies, at the time, Ben Jealous and Mark Morial, had met with the president 3 times to discuss what they called the Black agenda, which sadly most Black Americans, at least those that I've come across, didn't even know a Black agenda existed. So where did they gather this Black agenda? I have no idea. But the fact of the matter is they called it the Black agenda. And they actually met with the president at least 3 times to discuss this Black agenda that never came to fruition. There's nothing wrong with asking them what happened. There's nothing wrong with asking Reverend Al Sharpton, who is a known FBI agent, the same entity that is responsible for dismantling and destroying our most prolific and dedicated leaders and entities during the height of the civil rights movement in the 60s, right? There's nothing wrong with asking him, why should we trust you now when you worked for the very organization, whether you worked for them in 2015 or 1985? You worked for an organization that is directly connected with the deaths or the assassinations. Let me rephrase it. The assassinations of some of our most prolific leaders. Why should we trust you to lead and speak on behalf of Black America? You can ask that question without being overly critical of Reverend Al Sharpton.
Okay. Let me just skip through here.
Being an excellent orator, just like I have to give Reverend Al Sharpton his props for bringing issues about Black America to the forefront. Absolutely. They must be held accountable. You can't let them not be held. Done great work for women. LGBT, we're going to have them. Now, I personally I'm against Black leadership. I think that it's outdated, it's old, it's stupid. We should have learned from the 60s when all of our leaders were assassinated and the movement died with them momentarily. We should have learned then that having this spokesperson, if you will, representing us is a failed strategy. So we need less Black leadership, more Black institutions, in my opinion. Dr. Umar Johnson's Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy, it could very well be an extraordinary institution, right? But the fact of the matter is it's not anything right now beyond an idea, because we don't even have a business plan. We don't have anything
that's true.
that
That's true.
shows us that this academy is actually going to come to fruition, just like we don't.
You know, but that's still true today. We got 835 people in the building. If we can get these likes up, family, if y'all don't mind, I'll really appreciate it. Don't be hating now. That's a good point, because even to this day, he doesn't have a business plan. He doesn't have proof of concept. It's still up there in the air, like in the ethers, trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He hasn't even been up there. Umar, get on up there and get busy. Go do something. Go act like you're doing something, man. You know, I'm gonna be petty after this. Hold on a second.
Don't have any proof that the so-called Black agenda that Reverend Sharpton pushed up to the president has not come to fruition. So these things are merely just ideas. And I'm personally not a fan of treating ideas as if they are actual viable, real products and or entities. They're just ideas that can
I totally understand what she's saying. She's highly intelligent.
easily fade away or change over time. So let's hold these people accountable. If we're going to have Black leadership, hold them accountable. And that's all I wanted to say. And I'm looking forward, if you know some information that I don't know, if you know information about Umar Johnson's school and you want to clarify some things, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment. I will read it. Correct me. If you don't have the answer to the question and you just want to get upset and leave some silly comment about my hair or something ridiculous that has nothing to do with the conversation, just keep it moving. I mean, you either know information about the school, like you can update us and let us know what's going on, or you don't. The best way to shut down a critic is to hit them with facts. So if you know what's going on with his school and you want to inform everybody, please, I'm asking you to let us know what's going on with his school. If you are from Al Sharpton's camp and you happen to know what happened to the so-called Black agenda that essentially disintegrated, and you know,
well, they just run in the mouth. That's what they do. Yeah, shout out to this sister, and I like that they did this. But the thing is that this was it was just part of a beef thing that was going on. But I like how Boyce gave her a platform to speak on these topics because she's highly intelligent and she's coming from a business vantage point. She ended up having a falling out with Boyce. I believe she sued him. I don't know what came out of that. But what I do know, one of the ramifications of this was Umar. Later on, at least, he started to go back at Boyce Watkins, and it turned into serious beef between Umar Johnson, Boyce Watkins, and Tariq Nasheed. Some of you guys may remember that. If you remember that, hit the one. But it got way out of control. And in fact, here is one of the videos. Not to be petty, but just to go to show you where things went from here.
My doctoral degree.
Yeah, can y'all hear this? Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Permission to tell people who contacted them that I had graduated from there is because they were being overwhelmed with phone calls from Black people. Just like the reason I have to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on January the 8th is because they have been overwhelmed with complaints about me from feminists, homosexuals, multiculturalists, and jealous members of the larger community. Boyce Watkins helped to feed that. And after he questioned my degrees, when he could have asked me, I believe it was the year before last. You all know better than me. I'm so busy, I don't remember dates. It was either 2016 or 2015. Y'all remember me and Boyce Watkins, Bitch Watkins, whatever his name is, we had that exchange. He made 3 videos.
Here we go.
He made 3 videos, I believe, in less than 24 hours about the school. He brought his girlfriend on one of the videos, had her pose as if she was some kind of independent analyst, offering lopsided, imbalanced criticisms of me and the FDMG campaign. Some of y'all remember that. Some of y'all remember that. Why would you make a video about a brother criticizing and using subliminal suggestion to try to hint to people that he's stealing money? This is what Boyce Watkins did. First, my credentials, and then the GoFundMe. If you go on YouTube right now, type in Boyce and Umar. Go on YouTube right now, type in Boyce and Umar, and look at all the videos this moist-ass Negro has been making about me. I have never made a video about another man unless I had to respond to an attack like this. I've only had to make one other one. That was last Kwanzaa. This is my second one.
No, that's not true, because he's been taking shots at Tariq Nasheed. He took shots at Tariq Nasheed for years before Tariq finally responded. Hit the one.
Don't use my platform to talk about men. And of course, there's been times when me and Sonetta went at it, where I've had to checkmate those situations.
She sued Boyce. Oh, you're talking about Lloyd. She sued Boyce for $10 million because he allegedly stole all her ideas for those financial classes he was selling for Charles. Yeah, that Charles Wu situation, that was rough. In my mind, I was like, I don't know how Boyce is going to get up out of this and rebound from that. That was so damaging. Anybody remember that? That was one of the craziest. Charles Wu, he's an Asian guy. I don't know if he's Chinese or what. It might be Chinese, but man, that was wild. That was so wild. It was so long ago. It's not something that I follow closely, but I do know that when that came out, it just kind of blew things out of the water. The Asian guy had no respect for Black people, and Boyce was working with this guy to produce products and services and then selling it to Black people. But really, the way that Charles Wu phrased it, and it was in a separate interview that went semi-viral, was that it was really you're selling these Black people hopes and dreams, and you play on their emotions, and then you're able to get them to buy your products or your services. And he said that in an interview. I'm paraphrasing, and people caught hold of that, and it got crazy. It was one of the wildest things. I remember that, Lewis. That was crazy. That was one of the craziest things. Let's watch a little bit more of this. We'll go back to the other video and finish up. Here we go.
I think we're beyond that now. I thank him for the positive things.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that stopped following Boyce after that. He got a lot of criticism for that too. I don't know. I felt like he would never recover for that from that. But he's still around.
And I just hope they come from a place of sincerity, not opportunism. But I thank him for that. I thank him for that. So as far as Boyce Watkins goes, he did another video. What part of what prompted this video, brothers and sisters? A couple of days ago, and you all saw it because you sent it to me, because I don't follow Sister Joyce or Sister Nashida. I don't follow neither one of them. Don't care what they saying, what they doing, it's irrelevant. He makes a video, I think it was 90 minutes or longer? He plays a clip of my message to a brother who I had issues with last Kwanzaa. He plays that clip during the course of his video about me. Why are you bringing up something from last year? But that wasn't enough.
Umar says
he brought up the situation from 2015. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
See, Umar doesn't admit. Now, the 2015, that was the conscious stripper. That's when he was dealing with that stripper. 2019, I believe that's the SETI rant. Yeah, that's the SETI rant. And then he's talking about Tariq. Tariq did a video. He went in on Umar. I mean, I said, dang, that was one of the, well, he went in so bad. I feel bad for Umar.
Particular female, he brought that up. He tried to condense as much hate as he possibly
Oh, that was 2-6?
could.
Are you sure that was, dang, time is flying by so quickly. That was 2016. You know, that can't be right, man. We getting old, people. Golly, that's 2000. Boy. Yeah, it had to have been because 2019, that's when he purchased these trap bandos. I had to go look that up. Anyway, we got carried away. I can play a little more of this, but let's get back because I want to finish this up. Yeah, it is. It's flying. It's flying by. That SETI rant seemed like it was a month ago.
Into a video attacking my work, my character, and my agendas. Now, I know some of you would put me and Boyce Watkins in the same box. I'm going to have to disagree with that. I save lives for a living.
I save lives for a living.
I empower parents for a living.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Time
I
flies.
guarantee opportunities for our babies for a living. I don't sit on no
we
laptop
might get to 500.
talking about economics when I ain't got no economics. Talking about investment, where is your portfolio? Since you're so worried about Dr. Umar Johnson's evidence of his work, where is yours? Because from what I'm seeing, I see a whole bunch of smoke in mirrors. Nothing you teaching can't be read in the Wall Street Journal or
listen, Umar is projecting right here.
Any other magazine you could get on the newsstand. But guess what? That's none of my business, brother. I don't speak on you. And I'm only offering these words now because I want you to keep my name out your mouth, because now it's personal.
Uh-oh.
Now it's personal. And it will not stay on social network if my name come out your mouth again. It's personal now. You've done one video too many. It's personal now. I'm asking you, for the sake of the community, keep my goddamn name out your mouth. Make another video. We have to have an exchange.
Uh-oh, not an exchange.
I'm not going to say what kind of exchange it is.
Okay,
but we're going to have an exchange.
What you going to do?
Chicago's a potential site for FDMG. Your ass can run, but you can't hide. I don't want my name coming out your mouth. I don't bother you, man.
I don't remember this.
I don't bother your moist ass. What kind of feminized man spend so much time discussing another brother? What type of a feminized man spends so much time? It's like you addicted to me, brother.
Is he talking to me?
What is wrong with you?
Umar, don't be like
How
that.
do you have so much attention to pay to another man?
You're hilarious, though.
Shouldn't you be running an investment club or something?
No, I don't think so.
I don't bother you. Stay your ass on your laptop under your bed in Chicago, bro. Can we agree to that? Can Boyce Watkins and Umar Johnson...
He said, on your laptop under your bed. Umar funny, though. I'll tell you that. Let's go.
Agree to never mention each other's name in public.
Okay.
Not even for good.
Not even for good.
Not even for good. I don't even need you to say my name for good. My community know what I do. I don't need no vouching from none of y'all. If me and Boyce can agree not to say each other's name, let me take that back. If Boyce can agree not to say my name, our beef is done.
Okay.
We ain't got no beef. If Boyce Watkins say, you know what? The brother don't like me mentioning his name. I need to man up and admit every video I made about this.
He does it all the time. He's done that to me. He's done that to so many people. He did that to Tariq too. I think that it's a cultural thing for some black folks. When you can't deal with facts, then you start to call into question the next man's sexuality, you know. And Umar, he's known for doing that. Lewis Suck says she also don't. Oh, I didn't know she donated. I had no idea. He's talking about Maria Lloyd. I have no idea. I didn't know that. But yeah, maybe she donated. You know, there's a lot of people that donated initially, but you know, at a certain point they realized that it wasn't going anywhere. Again, it's been 14 years, over 14 years, and there's still no school. I think that more and more people have woken. The biggest challenge I think with Umar and what he's doing is that platforms continue to give him airtime. And what happens is, I've explained this in the past, is that it exposes a new audience to Umar and they don't know his history. And so they go along with it. And then they end up being the next marks. They're the people that send him money. The thing, though, is that there's always a critical mass. You can only do that for so long. And at a certain point, you've run through that quote unquote resource. And Umar sees people as resources. And that's why with Umar, he's not receiving the type of money that he was receiving in the past. And that's why he has to, you know, when he starts to get up there and ask for cash apps, it's like, get on your cash. You can tell he's in a state of desperation. That's because the money is running out, and he's not able to tap into a new market of people in order to get money out of fast enough to compensate for the money that's going out. Meanwhile, there's still no school. There's still no school to date. Lewis Suck says she sued Boyce for $10 million. Okay, yeah, I got that one. Thank you so much. And then Geo Scholar says Umar is gaslighting. Yeah, he is. He does that a lot. He does the gaslighting thing. He also projects a lot. He does that in this video. He does that a lot, especially these days. Well, he's the ultimate projector. Okay, this video there's probably about maybe 4 more minutes to. Let's go ahead and play the rest out, and then we'll go back to the other video. We'll close out.
Was a hate video, and let me back up.
And thanks everyone in the Quick Fresh Chat for being here. We still got about 832 people in the building. If you can hit the like button, I would appreciate it. I'm gonna try to be back here tomorrow too, and it's just we're gonna basically continue with the timeline moving forward, so that by the time we get into February, the first week of February, we'll be lined up for a marathon dealing with the 5-year anniversary of Umar Johnson acquiring this abandoned business. By the way, I kept saying February 6th in the past that was when he acquired the buildings. The video of him talking, him putting out the video where he makes the school announcement, that's what he calls it, or at least that's what I called it back then. That video came out on the 10th. But the truth of the matter is that he actually, the lease that he received or that he signed was on the 6th. It was 4 days later, roughly 4 days later, when the videos start to come out online. So in that it was a 6th, we may end up doing the live stream on the 6th, and then maybe running the 6th, 7th, and 8th to get through the 5-year anniversary of Umar acquiring these abandoned buildings. And by that time, you know, I guarantee you the school still won't be open. It's not going to happen. It's ridiculous. It's been going on for such a long time, 14 years and counting.
I left something out. Let me back up. I left something out. Do y'all remember an article that circulated that said Dr. Umar calls black people trifling?
Yeah, I can play the video right now. Geo Scholar, the only difference between Umar, a violent Tunde, and corrupt politician and a corrupt politician. Umar's too violent for politics. The other thing, though, too, is that Umar's mouth, you know, what he says, what comes out of his mouth, it's so over the top, you know. Umar would never be able to be in a position of, let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all remember this. I remember that Umar was promoting, boy, there's been so much stuff. He was promoting this politician. I can't remember where the politician was from right now. Anyway, I think Umar was on a live stream. He was doing a live stream, and the politician called in. I think that's how it went. And the politician called in and was talking and just started talking crazy, just like ghetto and everything. I said, man, and I was like, he just ruined his political career right there. I can't remember if he dropped the N-word, something like that. I said, oh, I'm talking to Umar. Yeah, Umar would never make it in the realm of politics. The other thing is that politicians have to be able to keep their calm, at least give the illusion that they're calm, you know, and composed. It shows, it reflects a level of power over themselves, power over the situation. Umar can't do that. He has no self-control whatsoever. You remember that politician? Yeah, that's what, and thanks, Geo Scholar, that's what it was. And Geo Scholar, I don't know if you remember that, but Umar had the politician on speaker on his phone, and you should have heard the politician was talking all ghetto. He was talking all ghetto. I was like, that's the end of your career. Umar going to run out of money, folk. I think Umar runs out of money constantly. He gets the money that comes in, he tricks it off, and then he starts begging for more. The days of Umar actually having money to set aside, that's over with. That's over with. You know, it's a day by day thing for him at this point. Okay, how do I get to tomorrow? Okay, let me get what I can get today. You know, the idea of him holding on to money, you know, for an indefinite period, those days are over with. Okay, that's way long gone. Yeah, you remember that, Bobby? Thanks, Joe Scholar. Yeah, that was crazy. That was so crazy. Okay, let's finish this up real quick.
Another one. Dr. Umar says black mothers make their sons gay. There was another one. And I'm seeing these negative articles circulating from a website, Your Black World.
Oh, I didn't know that.
These negative articles circulating from a website, Your Black World. I did a lecture in Nevada. 3 hours. A 3-hour lecture. Boyce Watkins had one of his writers find a snippet from my 3-hour Nevada lecture, a snippet.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote a whole article about me calling black people trifling. If you listen to the whole lecture, I clearly thanked black people for supporting me. If you listen to the whole lecture, it was a positive, informative school to prison pipeline lecture. But out of 3 hours, they found a snippet and used it to try to denigrate and castigate.
Okay, polite.
And impugn
Uh-huh.
my political character.
Castigate, impugn.
And I'm only dealing with political character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get into people's personal character. None of my business. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me personally. None of their business. But political character, the work that I claim to be about, I need to be about it. So these articles are circulating, and I do my research, and I find out Joyce Watkins.
There you go.
Moist ass Joyce Watkins is the one circulating these negative articles. And then when the community asked him about it, his soft ass said,
yeah,
well, I just provide a platform. Brothers and sisters who write for me say what they want to say. I can't control. It's freedom of speech. I just provide the platform. That's real interesting, Joyce. Because if you provide the platform, why in the hell you ain't never found somebody to write something half decent? Not that I give a damn. I'm just showing the contradictions in your hypocritical self.
Yeah,
not that I care. I don't want you writing nothing about me. I don't need nothing coming out my mouth, out your mouth about me. I don't need nothing coming out Tyreek mouth about me. I don't mess with y'all dudes.
This is King Kong. This is King Kong consciousness. That's this character, this personality of Umar. Look at the little hearts coming up.
Twice and you go on a rant about my degrees. You met me twice. You let people write articles, negative article after negative article about me on your
Come
platform.
on now, don't
you
do
met
that.
me twice, video after video about school money and credentials.
He ain't about nothing. What's up, Tyree?
As a man with a doctorate, allegedly, and I don't care if you got it or not, because Umar Johnson ain't that dude. I'm not that dude.
He did.
I'm not investigating whether Boyce Watkins has a doctorate. It does not matter. I stay in my lane. Why can't your feminine ass do the same?
There you go.
So for the community,
thanks, got a little.
And many of you are hypocrites.
Yeah, this is this
because
video.
The same ones of you who will get up here and say we need peace among our leaders. And again, I don't know what definition we use. The same ones of you who will get up here and say we need unity amongst our leaders will be the same ones promoting, spreading, tweeting.
A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough and Umar Tune was tossed. If it wasn't for the donors supporting him, his funding would be lost. His funding would be lost. Oh, man. Oh, you got, boy. Matter of fact, I had a crush on one of them ladies on that show. I can't remember which one it was. I think the ones that had them short shorts. Anyway, let's continue.
Resharing negative information. There's a lot of hypocrisy in the conscious community.
What are you saying, Umar?
Our leaders will be the same ones promoting, spreading, tweeting, resharing negative information.
Was it Marianne? It was the one that she had dark hair and then she used to wear, I think she used to wear these shorts. I think it was Marianne. Marianne, I forgot to put that on my list. I'm going to get my list together because we're going to have a crush show. Marianne, and also the lady from, what was it? The Dukes of Hazzard? What was that? Daisy? I think I had. I got to go back and look and see if I think I had a crush on her. But definitely Marianne. I think that's what I'm thinking about. What is Umar saying? I don't even know this.
Promoting, spreading, tweeting, resharing negative information. There's a lot of hypocrisy in the conscious community.
Umar, stop.
There's a lot of hypocrisy in the y'all start all
that's what it was.
And then soon when something hit the fan, oh, y'all need to work it out. But you're the reasons it even got there because you're the ones promoting and sharing it. Y'all need to take some responsibility too.
Well, look who's talking.
So I'm about to close up on Joyce. I just want the community to know, elders, whoever, I ain't got no problems with that guy. He doesn't exist to me. Ask the man not to make another video, I'll beat the squash. He make another video. Next time I see him, there needs to be an exchange, verbal or otherwise.
Ooh, he said verbal or otherwise. He ain't playing no games. Umar ain't playing no games.
Someone challenging you on the validity of your school or whether your funds are going to be misappropriated or anything like that?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. You know, as I said, everything's traceable. I mean, there's an account for the school. The checks are going to the school. When people misappropriate, most of the time what they do is they write expenses in the school's name for things that are not related to the school. This is a fundraiser. So there shouldn't be no money coming out of the account because I don't have any bills for the school because we don't have a physical school yet. So if I was taking out a check to get something done, okay, I would expect some questions like, what are you spending this fundraising money on? You don't even have a school yet. So the money is only going into the account. There's nothing coming out of the account because we don't have a school yet. You see, so I don't mind the questions because I'm not a crook or a thief, but it does bother me because we have had black leaders who have robbed us blind and they never get these questions. We got black churches who rob us blind every Saturday, Sunday. Not every church, but many of them, they don't get these questions. You know, so it's interesting that I would get these questions with the track record that I have of
of being honest and giving so much of my free time for stuff that other people charge tens of thousands of dollars for. But again, it's only been a few people. And most of the people who have scrutinized what am I doing with this money, even though I have a website, even though there's a video, even though we're in the
There is no FDMG website, Umar. Umar's talking about his own website, his personal website. I don't even know if he still has that. He probably does, but there is no FDMG website today. That's crazy.
The process of getting all paperwork that needs to be done. Most of them are enemies anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, let's see if he has a team.
Just change gears for a bit. This is a big undertaking, and no one person can do it all on their own. Now, I'm assuming that you have a team that's helping you with this. Can you speak to that? How's your team coming along? How are they feeling about the fundraising process, etc.?
Well, I mean, I have people who are out there doing all they can to get as many donations as we can. But we're optimistic. I'm going to remain optimistic. I can't quit, on our boys. This was an extravagant undertaking, but it was realistic. Black people gross $1 trillion every year in the American economy. A $5 million campaign for people who gross $1 trillion, for people who spend over $295 billion on clothes every year. What's $5 million? The asking price at the auction on Wednesday is $2.5 million. What's $2.5 million to people who spend more than that on alcohol and cigarettes? It's nothing. So was it extravagant? From the perspective that our people have their priorities out of order, it was kind of extravagant. But from the perspective that we clearly have it within our economic capability to help Dr. Umar raise this money, it wasn't extravagant at all. And we still have the time. I'm not giving up.
They have pictures of her.
But with the money that has been collected, it will automatically be redirected into the next fundraiser. I'm looking at other campuses, other colleges. Nothing stops. I always have several irons in the fire.
Pies, that kind of thing. He looked like he was making apple pies.
Anyway. I'm looking at some property in Jersey. I'm looking at some things in Philadelphia. I'm looking at some things in Detroit. So we'll continue, and all of that money will be redirected to whatever property we attempt to acquire. The fundraiser won't stop. It will be redirected from St. Paul's. But the fundraiser will continue, and I want everyone to hear that. The fundraiser will continue. Don't use Wednesday as an excuse to stop giving, okay? Because we don't even have $1 million yet. If I had $1 million, I could start looking at some of the schools for sale in the inner cities of Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia that has had, the most massive public school closings. If I had $1 million, I'm nowhere near that. We don't even have $100,000 yet. So we got to keep on going. Once I get to $1 million, I'm going to start looking at the inner city schools, Detroit, Chicago, and Philadelphia in particular, because you have the most to choose from. But we're going to keep on going. There's a residential school I'm considering in New Jersey. I'm trying to get some information on that. We're looking at that. So we're not going to stop. It's just that the fundraiser will stop being about St. Paul's. But
see that? Then this is what I want to get to, really. In this whole timeline, we're almost done. This whole timeline of this long con, Umar has always had an out. There always has to be something that stops him from getting to the next level. Okay, so at this point, 2010, he posts on his Facebook page that the school's going to open September 11, 2013. By the time you get into 2014, Umar's talking about the St. Paul's campus. He starts raising money specifically for that. But he had already, in his own mind, in a short period of time, he already recognized that this has to be stretched out even further. Because in order to continue to collect money, you can't just get the St. Paul's. Just like the same thing with Wilmington. But the point is that then you go from 2014 all the way to 2019. And then so by the time you get into 2019, all of these funds that were raised is now being put towards possibly acquiring some property out there. So you got a 5-year period where he's just wandering around trying to find. And again, that's a half a decade of just stringing people along. He already had an out in this video. He already knew what he was doing. Don't stop donating just because we don't get. Well, what do you mean? It's not even over yet. You're conceding. It's not even a concession. It is just. It was him recognizing that this has to go on as long as possible. Because see, by this time he recognizes that the amount of money that's coming in is substantial and in a short period of time. Well, why not make this a long con? And that's what he's been doing. That's why this has gone on for 14 years. And so when it gets to 2019, GoFundMe started issuing refunds prior to that. So he had to get something. And so he got these abandoned trap bandos, haunted houses up there in Wilmington, Delaware. And now we're about to come up on the 5-year anniversary since he did that. And there's still no school. And he's still collecting money. He's something else. Umar is something else.
Will continue to be about raising several $1 million so Dr. Umar Johnson can acquire a property for our boys. I would love for it to be residential, but if it has to be a traditional school, so be it. I can only do what the people allow me to do.
Now, this has brought a lot of attention to this type of school being needed throughout the country. Are you afraid that someone with deep pockets, for lack of a better word, may steal your idea and use it for their own benefit?
No one was thinking about purchasing St. Paul's before May the 20th when my fundraiser started. Nobody. The school was vacant for a year. Nobody. As soon as my video goes up, all of a sudden, black people and white people started coming out of the woodworks, detracting from my effort, Negroes as well, detracting from my effort to try to purchase the school before I could. And now, as you know, the greatest threat now to the St. Paul's campaign, for my purposes, is that there's a government agency who's looking to use it as a school for immigrant children. I don't even know if these are African immigrant children. I don't know who they are. They wasn't thinking about doing this until they saw my video. I popularized St. Paul's for sale, but I had no control over that. I knew that once I put that video up, a lot of people who were not thinking about it would, and some only for the sole purpose of keeping it from me.
What?
What's the last date for donations? I believe
there is no last date. And let
we're almost done. We're about to be wrapping up right now, but that's it. And that's what Umar Johnson's supporters, you have to understand. He told y'all back in 2014 what the plan was. And here we are in 2024. It's undeniable. He had a plan. He's actually carried out the plan. I would propose that him getting the Wilmington school, I would propose that he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to make that move, but he had to do something with the money he had left over so that he can get GoFundMe off of him, because they were issuing refunds to people who had donated to the St. Paul school scam. 5 years later, they're still, let's say 4 years and 7 months later, 8 months later, 4 years and 8 months later, he still doesn't have a building. And they started issuing refunds. So what does he do? He has to get whatever he can. He settled on these dilapidated buildings up there in Wilmington, Delaware. EPA classified them as brownfield catalyst sites and told the city that they needed to be torn down. That's what he settled on. And we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary from that point. He already knew what the plan was, but he had to do something. I don't think he wanted to. But because once he purchased the properties, he can't say that I need to find one anymore. Now he has to do something. And then for the last 5 years, it's to show people a little something here, give the illusion of progress over and over again, here and there, just to keep this thing going. The amount of energy that Umar has had to put into keeping these shenanigans going on it's incredible. And in particular, since he purchased these abandoned buildings in Wilmington with other people's money, the amount of time and attention and focus and energy that goes into perpetuating the scam, it's significant. See, I don't even know how he can do it. It has to be all consuming for him to have to live out this aspect of his lifestyle day by day, and also knowing that he has no intention of actually opening up a school. Like, when will it end? See, I'm popular to rise St. Paul for sale. I know the ego is incredible. See, it was still there. I'm going to make this point before we close out. Umar's ego was still there, even though he's dressed apart. He's calm. At least it sounds like he's calm and collected. The ego was still there. I think it's always been an issue, but it just got overinflated as more and more money came in. And again, the money, it allowed him to eat more, but it also allowed him to gain access to more women, And then that's when things really began to spiral out of control to where he's at today, where he's running around yelling and screaming on the phone. Looks like he just rolled out of a cardboard box. It's not. It can't be worth it, because it's not like he's. I've heard people say, I guess it don't even matter at this point. I just hope he can get things turned around. I don't think he will, Chris. I don't think he will. His ego has always been a problem. Thanks for Super Chat, Geo Scholar as well, and Lewis Luck. Let's close this out right now. It's almost done. Here we go.
Let me say this. There is no last date. St. Paul's goes to auction on June 25th. But St. Paul's went to auction back in May. Remember, I visited St. Paul's after the last auction because they didn't get the price that they were looking for. They didn't get the interest that they were looking for. So it's a good possibility that if that government agency does not buy that school, if they don't produce that $2.5 million, then guess what? The school is still available, which is why I'm saying I don't want people to stop donating on Wednesday. Keep on donating, because I have a direct line of communication to the president of the college, and I have a direct line of communication to the realty company. So if it's not sold, and I will know that, the very next day, I'm going to get in contact with them and say, did y'all sell that campus at the auction? Was there a bid that was acceptable? You see, and if it wasn't, guess what? We still have time. Remember, the school been closed for a year. So I don't know if there's going to be people jumping for joy on Wednesday, June the 25th, to buy a college in the middle of nowhere surrounded by an African-American community. So it's just another auction date. They've had previous auction dates. The fight must go on. Keep on donating. Because guess what? If they don't get it, they're going to do what? Set another auction date. 30.
Yeah, real quick. I forgot to mention also the turning of the heat down became more prominent because he had more money. I forgot to mention that. I think it was Black Lil that alluded to this. That's another aspect of this. See, this Umar, I can't say that he was not turning heat down. Okay, but what I'm saying is that his lifestyle got more and more out of control because he had more money. And because he had more money, he has money to spend on certain things, partying, going out, being at the club. I showed you all the video where he didn't realize that he was at the club, but he didn't realize that he was live streaming, and you see how he was talking. Well, that was powerful, of course, for Umar. At a certain point, it was like, okay, I'll go do this lecture. I can see if I can pull a couple of honeys and see if I can crush these cookies. I'll go out, we go hang out, we go to the club, that kind of thing, and then crush another cookies. But understand that lifestyle, not only is there a price to be paid by living that lifestyle, but also that brings other potential addictions, access to potential addictions into the equation. And that's what I believe happened with Umar. See, the thing is that people come into the turning of the heat down for different reasons. Some people, it's more escapism because they're dealing with situations in their life, and they turn to the turning of the heat down as escapism. For some people, it's peer pressure. For some people, it's just a matter of being in proximity to these things, and then developing. It's not even relationships, but having acquaintances who are involved with these types of things. So if you're out there partying and carrying on and doing it, and you got all this money, well, who's to say that at some point you're not going to go ahead and partake because the access is there. It's there. It's part of the whole package of the deal. You catch my drift? And so you get to turn another heat down, and the more money that comes in, the more turning of the heat down takes place. And then at a certain point, you get turned out on that heat. And that's where Umar is at today. You compare the picture that I showed in the thumbnail of Umar from this particular video, and you compare it to a more recent video, a more recent screenshot image of Umar, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's not just the physical appearance, it's also his behavior. So that's a huge aspect to all of this. Umar got caught up, and he has some serious issues that need to be addressed. But none of that, in my opinion, the turning of the heat down in particular would not have taken place and become such a focal point if he didn't have the money to partake in that in the first place. He had money coming in, and more money and more money and more money, and that's what he did, and that's why he's at where he's at today. It's sad. Okay, he was still he still had narcissistic personality traits, and back in this video, he still, the thing is, he was able to keep things on the wrap. He's not talking about crushing cookies. He's not doing all that stuff. But at a certain point, he lost complete control.
60 days from now, and maybe 30 to 60 days from now, we'll have the 2.5 million. So don't stop. And if they do sell the school, don't stop. I'm looking.
Let's look a little bit further down the not too distant future. Let's say you acquire the college. Then what?
If I acquire the college in August, we should be ready with a couple of grades that we can start in next August of 2015. Man,
next August of 2015. So in that initial post, he said 2013, right here. And then here we are in 2014, and he's saying 2015. I have him on record saying 2016, and then 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now he's saying sometime in 2024. But that'll change. He'll say 2025 soon enough. I guarantee it.
Have the college fully operable from pre-K to 12, which is my vision, pre-K to 12 elementary school, but we will be able to start somewhere between 4th and the 7th grade. I'm confident of that. If we get that campus this summer, we will be open next summer with a couple of grades operating. I can guarantee that.
He can guarantee it, huh?
Many people consider one of my strengths the fact that people can relate to me on an individual level, that I'm not arrogant. I'm a very humble guy. Although in my oratory, it might not appear to be that way. Anybody can come up to me and have a conversation. That's one of the strengths that I've been told I have. I'm very personable. You can text my cell phone and talk to me. No go-between. However, it does have its downside. People who don't necessarily mean me or my work any good, they also have that direct access. Also, members of my security team are concerned that I'm giving people too much direct.
I have a video where Umar was talking about his security team is going to be all women. Hit the one. I should pull it up, but we got to be done. I said we're going to do 2 hours. Here we are 3 already.
Access, not in terms of reputation, because I'm not concerned about what the public thinks of me, but in terms of my own personal safety. So I'm probably going to have to change some things up as we go forward. And once we do have the school, I won't be able to allow people direct access
you don't remember
to
that?
me anymore.
Yeah, he was talking about an all-female
the image and name of the school, and I don't want people saying I heard directly from Dr. Umar X, Y, and Z when that wasn't the case. So I'm going to have to cut that off, not because I want to, but I'm going to have to, because we have some very, very negative people.
We might can still get it 30.
In the so-called
We just
conscious
need
community
30
who
more.
would love to hurt my work.
Dr. Johnson, with all of this being said, you are still single, correct?
Yes, I'm still single.
How has that impacted your life with regards to building the school, doing the lectures? Because let's face it, a woman can be the heart and the soul of a man. She can lead him to great things, but she can also tear him down if she's not the right woman. So you being...
Why are these black men talking like this? I don't get it. I just don't get that. Why would you even phrase the question like that? What kind of? I just don't understand it. It's like black women are your enemy. Is that what you're saying? I don't get that. I just don't look at it like that. It's just like I don't know what it is. It's a lack of respect. It's a lack of appreciation. You know, it's a lack. And you know, today I went to the post office and when I went, I went twice actually, but that's neither here nor there. But 3 times while I'm going to the door, either coming in or coming out, there's a woman that's walking behind me, and I hold the door. And they said, "Oh, thank you." They were shocked. You know, and I do it for my wife too. I open up the door. She, oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. Just come on, hurry up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? As we go to bed, open that door. Say, here you go. She's like, oh, thank you. I say, yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am. I don't see women. I just don't see women like that. You know, like they're potentially out to get you and they're your enemies and they can sabotage. I don't know. But probably because I got a good woman but I don't see it. I don't see it. Like if me and my wife never got together, I would have never thought of women like that. I really don't get that. I don't get it. Umar talks like that, and this guy's posing the question like that too.
Being single, how has that affected you, and do you get approached by women often?
I get approached by women. I think it comes with the territory. Women, I think, are naturally attracted to men who exude a certain type of aura. I've been told I have a very Shango type personality.
Here we go. Here we go. With the Shango. Here we go. He always got to get don't you pull that Shango stick out like yesterday. Don't do it.
They like men who are in the forefront, who are powerful, who are leaders, who are organizers, who are educated, who can take care of them financially. So I kind of meet all those requirements. But the problem is,
well, you can take care of finance. You can't even take care. What are you talking about? Let me go get this guy.
I'm not necessarily looking for a woman who's looking for a man who just has that. I'm looking for the type of sister who could be a freedom fighter. I always joke that if I could somehow turn Winnie Mandela back to 40 years old, I would marry Winnie Mandela. I think Winnie Mandela would be the perfect mate for me. She would be courageous enough to stand by my side. She would be able to fight with me. She would be able to fight for me. She would be able to very sophisticatedly and professionally deal with any detractions. Winnie Mandela, she's beautiful physically. She would definitely keep my attention that way. She's beautiful.
Here we go. Why can't we just come on? Why? Well, come on now, please. This guy, I know. He talk about Winnie Mandela and how she look on. That'd be good enough for me. But come on, man. She got to be old enough to be your grandmama. Dang, man, that's weirdo. That's just some weirdo stuff. I can't even explain that one. He talk about he just keep going on. And we'll go out and have some pancakes, and then after that we'll go out and we will have some chitlins, and we were gonna. I said, Umar, if you don't stop. She was born in 1936. She passed away. Rest in peace. In 2018. But this video is before that, so we'll at least give Umar. Why would you be even thinking like that, man? That's some crazy, boy. That's crazy. Something wrong with you, man. What was she, like 80 something? Was he talking like this? Can someone do the math? What year was this? This video's from 2014. She was born in 19. Here, I'll just do it right on my calculator. She was 78 when Umar did this video. Man, something wrong with you. Something definitely wrong with you. Up here.
Barely looking for a woman who's looking for a man who just has that.
I'm looking for the type
of sister who could be a freedom fighter. I always joke that if I could somehow turn Winnie Mandela back to 40 years old, I would marry Winnie Mandela. I think
here we go.
Winnie Mandela would be the perfect mate for me. She would be courageous enough to stand by my side. She would be able to fight with me. She would be able to fight for me. She would be able to very sophisticatedly and professionally deal with any detractions. Winnie Mandela, she's beautiful physically. She would definitely keep my attention that way.
She was how she was what 70, 78, bro. Come on, Umar, don't do that. Well, who thinks like that? I know I joke sometimes, but this guy is really believing this nonsense.
Beautiful intellectually, spiritually. She hates white supremacy as much.
I thought he was gonna say she got back. I was saying, don't you do that? She 5'5", thick of the thighs. You know, Umar, don't do that. Don't do that.
Much as I do, and she would die for her principles. I haven't run into a lot of women who would die for their principles. I haven't run into a lot of women who actually have the principles of Pan Africanism as embedded on their heart as I have. Obviously, there's a lot of great black women out there, a lot of good sisters in the conscious community. No doubt, most of our sisters are marriage worthy. No question about that, those with children and those without children. But I think sometimes they're more drawn to me for what I am and not who I am. I also
don't do that. Don't do that. Come on now. We gotta be done tonight. We gotta finish right now, boy. Y'all don't do that. Come on. We're taking stuff too far. You guys be taking stuff way too far. I get it. We joke, but come on. You don't do that. We finish it right now. Let me let
tend
this
to
play.
get
Goodness.
an abundance of women who want to develop a relationship with me, but they're too afraid to stand in public and say, I support this man, which means you can't be with me because I can't be with a cowardly woman. So I'll get females who will.
All right, he wants some. He wants some of that Dr. Show. He wants some of them Dr. Show cooking, family. Winnie Mandela run up. Oh no! He said, I can't get Winnie. She too, but I'll go for a stripper. God. It's true though. Umar went from Winnie Man. He went from a senior citizen Winnie Mandela to a stripper. He wasn't playing no games. Okay, let's finish up. Oh man. Oh, y'all got me crying. That's crazy. All right. You guys be taking stuff way too far. You guys be taking grandma away. Oh my God. I can't laugh at that because I'm gonna need to get me some new teeth to some point too. I might get that plan, that boy walking plan. Woo. That Tasha K voice walking plan in a minute. All right. You guys. Your man look like a guidance counselor to psych. Wow, no, he wild. Boy, y'all wild. I appreciate it. I hope everybody having a good time though, because you gonna say you went to Winnie Mandela to a stripper. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah, she used to be, she was scamming on that psychic network thing. Y'all remember that? Okay, let me get up out of this chat room. We got to just finish up. Okay. I'm trying not to look up over here, but but I can't help it. Okay, all right. I see hot cookies, old drill cookies. Okay. Whew. All right, let me go ahead and we'll finish up right here. It's only a couple of minutes. Here we go.
I haven't run into a lot of women who actually have the principles of Pan Africanism as embedded on their heart as I have.
Hey, that's wrong, rolling phones.
Obviously, there's a lot of great black women out there, a lot of
wild.
good sisters in the conscious community. No doubt, most of our sisters are marriage worthy. No question about that. Those with children and those without children.
Yeah, that's what she was on.
But I think sometimes they're more drawn to me for what I am.
That one lady on there too? She had an accent, but I don't even think it was real because my wife said that's not a real. She can tell that she's not really from down there. She had like an accent from the Caribbean. Wasn't she on there too? Maybe that was later. Cleo or something like that. Anyway, here we go.
And not who I am.
Yeah, Miss Cleo.
I tend to get an abundance of women who
she was on another service.
Want to develop a relationship with me, but they're too afraid to stand in public and say I support this man, which means you can't be with me because I can't be with a cowardly woman. So
this guy, his level of arrogance and narcissism is off the chain. He's actually making this up too on the spot.
Get females who will send me private messages.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna go look
I hope you get the money for the school. But then when I look at their website or their social network page, they haven't reposted a single one of my school advertisements for the whole campaign. I have women who are interested in me who haven't once advertised the fundraiser to.
She was born in Los Angeles. Ain't that something? She passed away in 2016. Rest in peace. She was born in 1962. Yuri Dale Harris was an American television personality and actress best known for portraying Miss. So she was just portraying. She was an actress. A spokeswoman from the psychic paper call minute service called Psychic Readers Network. Oh no, she was on Psychic Readers. Is that the same thing people mentioned earlier? In a series of television commercials that aired from 1997 to 2003. Yeah, so I don't even think she was 6'1". I don't think she was no, wait a minute. It says she was born in Los Angeles to Elisa Teresa Hopis and David Harris and raised in a Catholic Afro-Caribbean family. She attended as a boarder Ramona Covenant Secondary School, a Catholic. She was in a Catholic school. Yeah, so she wasn't even raised in the islands. I think that was just, well, she could have picked it up from her parents, though, too, I guess. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, maybe when we do our retro, we can pull up some of those. I'm sure those are online, too. That'd be interesting to take a look at. But, yeah, I remember Miss Cleo.
Their network of friends. How in the hell can you be interested in me and you're doing nothing to help me achieve a goal that you know is central to who I am and what my...
What did she do? Let me look over here real quick. My goodness, she's probably scamming, huh? No, I don't see. Well, there's some lawsuits. 2015, as Miss Cleo Harris appeared in a series of advertisements for the General Mills breakfast cereal French Toast Crunch. I think I remember that. The Psychic Readers Network sued on the basis that they owned the character. Yeah, it was just a character. The advertisements were discontinued. The Psychic Readers Network sued Benefit Cosmetics. Yeah, I don't see anything about her. I don't know. Anyway, what did she get convicted of? Do you know, Ed? Let me know in the chat room. I'll be looking in there. Here we go.
My destiny is all about. So I ain't been doing too good in that department. I'm at the age, I'll be 40, God willing, August the 21st. I'm not going to lie. I'm at that age where I would want to come home to my queen. I'm there. But I don't really see marriage in the foreseeable future. I thought I did, but at 40, I'm gonna have to do a lot of reflecting. I don't know. If it comes, it comes, but the ancestors are gonna have to put it in my lap. I ain't looking no more. I'm kind of tired of looking. I'm not finding what I like.
See, he's never been looking. He's just crushing cookies. That's the big difference. Man, if you want a woman and you want to be with a woman, you're gonna find a way. You ain't gonna be carrying on like this. You know, you're not gonna do all this. Umar, he just wants to crush them cookies. That's it.
I'm not finding what I need either. I'm finding a lot of people who can put on a real good revolutionary mask to get my attention. But when I get to know them, you're really not about the people. You just wanted someone who was popular for you to be able to stand with and embellish your ego. So marriage ain't at the top of the list of priorities for me right now.
Oh, she did serve prison time. It says for years after people pinned the fraud, there was some sort of a fraud. Miss Cleo, fortune teller, 90s TV. Okay, so while Miss Cleo was never alleged to be the mastermind of the enterprise, she was undeniably its embodiment. For years afterwards, people pinned the fraud on her and even claimed she served prison time for. Oh, maybe she didn't. She never went to jail. She told Vice in 2014 to clear the record. But I'm interested in seeing what exactly happened. But let's go ahead and finish this up though, because we've gone way over time. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. If you can hit the likes, maybe we can get to, yeah, all we need is 6 likes. We can get to 6 likes real quick as we close out. Okay. This video is it's literally like maybe a minute and a half. Here we go.
I am going to cut back on the amount of.
See, this is see the difference back then. Umar was he was jam packed. You know, people come dressed and nice and everything, but those days are long gone.
Speaking I do, and limit it only to people who have shown me support if they know me. If they don't know me, I'm going to need to scrutinize the request to make sure it's not being generated purely out of a desire to make money off my name, and to make sure that they are serious about helping our people. Up until now, if you call me, you wanted me to speak, I'm there. That's the type of brother I am. I like to help people, but that can be used against you because people can take your kindness for weakness, and I have been taken advantage of by a lot of people over the past 15 years and especially the past 4 years.
That lady.
So I'm going to cut back. That doesn't mean people won't be able to get me to speak.
I know what you're talking about. I saw that too.
Good in that the messages about courageous school. You're really not about to do a lot of at the top of list of priorities for me right now.
Let me just look. Here we go. All right, we made it. Thank y'all so much.
I am going to cut back on the amount of speaking I do and limit it only to people who have shown me support if they know me. If they don't know me.
Talking about this lady right here. Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, she's real pretty too.
I'm going to need to scrutinize the request to make sure it's not being generated purely out of a desire to make money off my name. And to make sure that they are serious about helping our people.
Umar said, make money off my name. My
people. Up until now, if you call me, you wanted me to speak, I'm there. That's the type of brother I am. I like to help people, but that can be used against you because people can take your kindness for weakness, and I have been taken advantage of by a lot of people
I had a crush on
over the past 15 years and especially the past 4 years. So I'm going to cut back. That doesn't mean people won't be able to get me to speak when 2015 runs out. I can't cut back now. I got a full roster for the fall and winter.
Yeah, he's very well.
And more requests coming in.
Thank you so much.
People can still request me to speak. But I'm going to look at each request and say, is this a person who's bringing
what we're going to cover? If there's anything new that comes out, someone email me, let me know. We can get to it. He hasn't been up there, up them trap bandos. You know, he's on vacation, I guess.
Because they really want to do something for black people? Are they doing something for black people? And if they are, I'm coming. If it's someone who I've known for a while, who hasn't helped my fundraiser in any way, shape, or form, I'm not coming. Because you know me too well to have stood on the sidelines during this campaign. I'm not speaking for them or with them. For people I don't know, they still have an opportunity to prove themselves to me as to whether or not I need to be wasting my time. Bottom line, I don't want to be wasting my time traveling to places, giving my heart and soul on that stage, because I give my heart and soul when I speak. I'm giving you my life energy.
She played in what you call it? Y'all know you're talking about. She played in I was gonna say Tarzan. My goodness. There was this Tarzan movie. It was coming up. We were gonna try and watch it. It was with not Denzel Washington. What's the guy's name? The other great black actor. Denzel Washington in Samuel L. Jackson. But this is the lady that played in Black Panther. Yeah.
On that stage. I'm not giving my life energy anymore to individuals or organizations who ain't reciprocating back.
Yeah, my email is my name at Yahoo.
Or who are not serious about helping our people.
The other thing, y'all, listen, I got so many emails to get caught up on. Okay, I apologize. I try to get back to people as soon as I can, but I be getting a lot of emails. So I apologize for that.
If you're just doing this for edutainment purposes, count me out.
All right, closing remarks.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me. All of you who have sent in the PayPal donations, please don't stop. Keep on going. All the checks, all of you are going to receive thank you notices. I have to send that to you because you've been so supportive of me. The $500 checks, the $50 checks, the $100 checks, the $1 PayPal donations, the $10 checks, the $15 checks. I really know that y'all gave me what y'all couldn't have.
They don't remind me of each other. Those, well, no, kind of. I see what you're saying, but I don't get. I never get Viola Davis mixed. You know, one of the people I had a crush on. I have it on my list. I can't remember her name, but she was in Star Trek, the movie Star Trek. think it's Star Trek First Contact. Yeah. What's this lady's name? Let me see. Yeah, it was First Contact. But I have her on my list. I'm putting it together. I'll put it into a PowerPoint. We're gonna have a crush show. It'll be a series of shows too, but I ain't gonna be able to get through my whole 50. We'll probably do 10 at a time or something like that. And she ain't even coming up. Why they put this sister up on here? That's wrong. They got all of the main actors in here. Let me see. First Contact cast. They should have it right here. Well, they got this goofy on there. Oh yeah, Alfre Woodard. Yeah, I had a crush on her. Alfre Woodard. Yeah, she's fine to me. She's probably about 80 years old now. Anyway, let's finish this up. Here we go.
Thank you. I'm happy because I do know there's people out there who care.
Yeah, Whoopi's on my
and there's
list.
enough of you that when this next fundraiser gets started, if we're not
No,
successful with St.
I'm at
Paul,
53 now. I'm at 53, but I'm gonna get it down to 50. But I'm gonna be able to change it though as we go, because y'all gonna be sharing me. You men will probably share your top 5 or whatever, and there's gonna be people on there that I forgot about. No, that's not nope. I already talked about that. I don't like all that aggression, like when she was on Boomerang. That scared me. I don't like that. Anyway, let's go.
I will be sure to keep you guys close to my heart, and I will make sure that you will be honored within the walls of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. It's not a question of if we're going to build this school. Get the if out of your mind. There is no ifs. There's only a question of where it's going to be and when it's going to come into fruition. So brothers and sisters, continue to support me. Dr. Umar Johnson School.com. We got 8 more days. 8 days. We can do this. Don't stop. Tell everybody in your family to make a donation. Everybody in your church, everybody in your lodge, your frat, your sorority, your block, your community network, your revolutionary organization. We need the donations, and we still have time to raise that $2.5 million for St. Paul. So please, please, please keep on giving. And if we don't make it, don't you dare get discouraged. We're going to keep on pushing until we find a home for our boys. We owe them that much.
Damn. 14 years later. I just proved it. 14 years later. Okay, going all the way back to 2010 to close it out. Promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Mark Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys, specializing in learning disability and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. The grand opening September 11, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. We just went up to 2014 with a St. Paul school scam. Still no school to date. That all obviously transferred over into the Wilmington school scam, which started in 2019, and we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of that school scam. It's an iteration of school scam in about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and we will cover that. We're going to be going through the 3 videos that Umar Johnson released: the school promo video, the school announcement video, and the FDMG Wilmington school outside. Or no, yeah, I think it was an outside tour. I don't think he actually went inside, but we'll be covering that. It'll be a marathon, so y'all get ready. And yeah, Grace Jones is on my list. Okay, Grace Jones is on my list, family. All right. What? No. Now, wait a minute. Now, you guys are getting confused. Now, I'm saying I didn't like the aggression from Earth to Kent because, anyway, never mind. I'm over here sound like Umar trying to figure things out. You had a crush on Barack Obama? Anybody else have a crush on Barack Obama? Maybe you women or you men's. Anybody, real quick? I just want to see. All right, we close it out. All right, y'all don't want to see what I got on my list. I got some of y'all gonna be like, something wrong with Lenon. Something wrong. I said y'all do. I knew something was wrong with him. Most deaf. No one's saying. There ain't nobody want to say Obama. Oh, you love Obama? Okay, all right. Okay, well, thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back tomorrow for another live stream. I just got to figure out what we're going to be getting into. And as you exit the building, if you can hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. And as we always do.
Ever. How we doing there, gorgeous? Okay.
I done found condoms, alcohol bottles all over the place. This is not the drink spot.
Cows, horses, chickens.
The loosey goosey. You the loosey goosey. You
Most deaf. 2005, 2006. Yeah, she on my
I'm gonna
list.
go to
Yeah.
the pet store
She on
and
my
I'm gonna
list.
get about 50 baby mice.
She on my
And the
list too.
minute one of you Negroes
Yeah.
starts squealing about election day, I'm gonna throw a mice on your ass.
George
Black pigs.
George Clinton? My goodness gracious. All right. Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. Thank y'all again for tuning on in. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. FDMG.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right, all right, all right. That Cookie Crush show is gonna be off the chain. Make sure y'all have your top 10, at the very least your top 5. We probably get to top 5s, but it's gonna be a series of shows. We gonna get, oh my God, Lord Jesus. On that note, family, I will see y'all very, very soon. Thank y'all so much for tuning on. Thanks for everyone who sent in super chats, cash apps, PayPal. Also, thanks to the mods for handling this. Love y'all. Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. I'll see y'all very, very soon. Take care. Peace.